So it's cold outside. It's cold
my God.
inside. It is cold everywhere. It is February. That means we're back.
I'm leaving.
Welcome back from the break.
Break. Yeah, what was it? Camp David break last week for you guys? Consulting on the Hall of Fame class? Is that what it was?
That's what it was.
The Hall of Fame class is selected.
When we'll announce it later on the show.
Are we?
Yes.
Or will we?
Oh, boy. I've been asked so many questions. I'm like, I don't know.
Do you know who's in?
I have no idea who's in. I know there's one, but that's all I know.
Do you know who's in?
Well, I'm in. But that's been years now.
I'm also in. Are you in, Mo?
I
Mo wasn't. Mo
Are you
was
sure
first.
you're in?
Mo was the first media member. Actually,
Nope.
Darren.
No,
Darren
Darren
was.
was. Darren
Duran.
He's
Daron.
self-selected.
Yeah. He's
Gerard
self-selected.
Bamajan.
It's true. Darren got selected to the Hall of Fame the year that the only vote was Darren's.
Yeah, and the winner is Darren. Okay.
Shocker.
Yeah.
So I was saying Jerry Glanville, like I initially had on one headset. I put on two headsets. For those who watched the XFL last week, Jerry Glanville wore two headsets. But there's a story about Jerry Glanville, former NFL coach and former CFL coach, and now XFL defensive coordinator. Every home game that Glanville coaches, wherever he's coached at beforehand, he leaves a pair of tickets for Elvis.
Oh, so he's crazy.
What a waste of tickets.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Look it up. Jerry Glanville, Elvis Presley tickets.
If only there was an underprivileged kid that he could give it to.
Yeah.
Like Elvis.
Like Elvis, yeah. But that's pretty baller. Like having on two headsets, it's like in the 80s in movies where like the president would take two phone calls on two phones because I guess call waiting wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, not yet, But yeah.
He's president of being a douchebag because, my God, tickets for Elvis, that's really strange.
Yeah,
At least
for sure.
At least leave him for Tupac.
Did he pick it up there, Eagle? Jerry Glanville, Elvis Presley tickets?
I don't even need to Google it. You're right. You know sports trivia.
But did Elvis pick up the tickets?
no, of course he didn't pick them up.
Did
He's
he
on
leave-
Mars.
Did he leave it at will call? Because the guy at
Perhaps.
will call's like, Elvis Presley. Okay.
Poll question today. Do you eat or sniff sugar?
But that's not a poll question. Nobody sniffs sugar.
Put on the poll,
Even
please.
bakers don't sniff sugar.
We'll never
Just
get
put it
consensus
on
on
the
anything, so
yeah.
someone will
That's
vote
not
sniff.
the white powder you sniff.
Can you put on the poll, please? Do you eat or sniff sugar?
Mo, I think you need to take a course in nutrition.
I'm perfectly
Speaking
fine.
of which, speaking of course of nutrition,
Nutrition.
I was talking to Simone today, and for some reason the 80s nutritional guide came up, and I looked at the old pyramid for the 80s nutritional guide. You know what they recommended? 6 to 11 portions per day of bread and cereals.
Well,
Wow.
Jesus Christ!
That's
How does everyone not 30 pounds? Well, they were, because when you're 37, you look like Dr. Fraser Crane. But,
So that's where all the gluten intolerance came from.
yeah, from idiots
perhaps.
in the 80s.
Exactly.
It's our parents that would feed us that. Like, no, the food guide says you have to have your cereals.
Let's dive into the week that was, because we are a little bit behind schedule here, as we have Tyler Grondin coming on in about how many minutes here, Eagle?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So 10 minutes from now, Grondin will be on with us. Doing very well this year with his team.
Absolutely. Pleasantly surprised to see him doing so well.
Yeah, we're going to do a different episode. It's the mid-season report card. So we're doing swipe right or swipe left a la Tinder or Bumble.
Which one is the one where I sleep with the team?
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to spitfire out teams.
Thanks for
and
not answering the question.
I'm not going to answer that
All right.
question.
All right.
Simo, the problem you're going to have is that they need to swipe back. So you need to match. I don't think a lot of teams are going to want to match with you.
No, they won't. So we're going to have a...
There's going to be a lonely Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we're gonna throw out a team to
Yet
Peeze.
another lonely Valentine's Day for the Moe Khan.
Perhaps. Las
Well,
Vegas, what
I
she's
saw
doing.
this actually. Pornhub is giving a 1-day free subscription on Valentine's Day for single guys.
There you go.
Nice of them. Nice.
Eagle, I'll send one for you. So pension plan, I'll throw
Eagle
it out.
has his paid premium account.
Yeah. VIP.
VIP, my friend.
VIP.
I
So
know
we're
the
going to throw out
industry.
teams there, and then from there we're going to say swipe right or swipe left in a couple of words, like 5 words max per team, because there's like 85 million teams out there. So let's just dive into quick before we get Grondin on. The week that was in 6 and 6D, what games caught your attention, Peasley?
Well, I was there to watch Trapstar Shambo, but that was happening same time as my game, so I caught a little bit of it. I got a chance to talk to Ryan Garber before the game. Dude got tall. That's what happens when you coach guys in FPF Junior, and then they become grown-ass men.
Well,
It made me feel my age for sure, but it was really good to see him. He had a great game. Only 2 incompletions all game. Going up against another group of kids I really liked, the guys from Shambo. Jonathan Perez suffered an injury in his previous game, which we'll talk about when we talk about Division 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Jonathan Perez wasn't quite sharp, but he got hit and was he has icing his right side during and after the game. So hopefully he's doing better. But yeah, it definitely didn't look himself. And the score showed that Trapstar is winning at 33-14.
I wonder if the uniforms had a big impact because I believe Shambo had to wear pennies. They're a team that wears white uniforms, and Trapstars wear a light pinkish hue. And if you watch the Lance Daniel highlight tapes or highlight videos on the Instagram, you guys see the captain go, "Hey, do we need to wear pennies?" They're pink.
I think that was the previous game.
Was it? I thought it was
because it's the same group of guys. A lot of those kids play in Division 5B also.
Was not? I thought I could have sworn that's 11 o'clock game. No.
I don't think so because Lance wasn't there at 11.
Oh, I beg your pardon. So I apologize.
I don't know.
By
Maybe.
the way, I'm gonna
Because
give you
Trapstars
the,
also wear white, so I don't know.
I'm gonna give you the advice of Justin Timberlake. Drop the from the Instagram. It's just Instagram.
The Instagram?
Yeah, because that's what he said.
The Instagram.
It's like the Facebook, no?
Yeah, the
No,
Ohio
just
State.
Facebook. That's for the reference.
The
center.
Facebook. All right. Game
You're
that
the Eagle.
the team that's really caught my
That is
attention
correct.
though,
Mm-hmm.
that has become a red flag for me now is Kings of the North. I've score capped their games the last couple weeks here, except for the one this past week, but they've been getting destroyed. And if you look at the Kings of the North, a recent schedule of losses here, they lost to Suicide Squad 25-6. But if you look at their losses beforehand, MacDo beat them 30-0. Space Apes crushed them 39-0. Did I oversell this team by saying, hey, this is a really good team to watch out for? Because they have not looked good, Peeze. And they have lost now, I believe, 4 in a row.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, so week 1 they won by a point, whatever. We don't get a lot of information from that. Week 2 they beat Shambo. Shambo was a team we thought was going to be very good.
Yeah.
Has kind of struggled a little bit. And yeah, they've been getting crushed. And I think this is just what happens in development of a young quarterback, a new quarterback in FPF. Most of the time it's been Phil Osant. This time Danny Ostigi. Neither of them are seasoned FPF quarterbacks. So when that happens, it's kind of a toss-up. I think Phil Osant is very talented. But he's got a lot to learn. And Danny Ostigi taking over this game looks. Oh no, Phil Osant was actually at the game. Just I guess a team decision. But so the thing is. The piece of advice I would give Kings of the North is you're a new team without an established quarterback. It serves you no benefit to change quarterback. You need to make a decision and give that person reps.
I agree with you, Peeze. I'm just a bit surprised because they have a wealth of FPF experience. But
quarterbacking is a whole other
it's
world.
a different
man.
animal,
You know it.
We all know it.
No, but Moe, and I actually am not going to make fun of you this time. I know it's rare, but we, as much as we teased you for that season, that awful season you had, and I've had my struggles at quarterback. You had some struggles at quarterback. You know firsthand, you're a guy who played Division 1 with Finest. Yeah. You had Kevin Wyeth on your team. You had the ability to pick the brain of one of the greatest minds in FPF history, and yet when it comes to actually performing, it's not the same thing.
No, it isn't.
You can understand the game, you can know, but then being able to do all these things in literally 2 seconds before the rusher gets to you is a whole other world.
It's like being on shrooms for those who've consumed shrooms, right? Your mind's all over the place. You're trying to process everything and just trying to make the right read. And I was a little bit surprised by Kings of the North and their inability to get going. The lack of scoring, that's what's caught my attention. It's one thing to lose, right? If you lose by a score here and there, but they're getting outclassed. They're getting trumped by a bunch of teams before them. So we'll see what happens with their luck if they can change it around here afterwards. Quickly here before we get to Tyler Grondin in a few minutes.
At 8:10 in 3 minutes.
Yes, I know.
Note.
Is it 3 minutes or 13 minutes?
3 minutes.
3.
3
It's a
minutes.
bracket.
Well, because it looks like 13. Doesn't it?
Does
look like
It's a bracket.
Does that look like 13? Because
Or it could be a B and he just didn't complete it.
Larry, put it on the camera. Get on the camera.
Nobody can read that.
Put it on the poll. Does it say 13 or 3? With no context. Does it say 13 or 3?
It looks like a 1.
Yeah.
Doesn't. Anyway, quickly here at 60. Some games that caught your attention here, Peeze. 89.9ers, close one to Tropic Thunder.
That's surprising because Tropic Thunder's been doing so well. And we'll talk about that more so with Tyler Grondin.
Yeah, which we will.
Once we get there. But 89ers a team new and struggling, so it's surprising to see that game be so close. 1 second here as I bring the screen up. What could have been continued their winning streak. They beat Buchan Sears. that one is not entirely surprising. Book and Sears, again, for all their athleticism, still learning the game. What could have been have been excellent, and they continue that. Sean Brown, just a solid game. Completing most of his passes, 4 touchdowns. It almost seemed like he didn't even have to do much. They just had positive field position the entire game. The entire game went their way. And, they looked really good.
I think Buccaneers, we go back to the game last week that they had, which I scored, Kev. I think that kind of let the air out of the sails. We lost to the Studs by 2. That was a chippy affair. I felt like that was like a turning moment for them in their season, where had they won that football game, their confidence goes through the roof because of how that game unfolded. And, for them to lose like they did, I felt like they were going to have a flat performance, and evidenced by the fact they lost by a score 34-6. They've lost 2 in a row. They won a couple in a row. Now they lost 2 in a row. Can they just reverse that fortune and become more stable? Because I think they have some good talent around them, but their inability piece is the fact that they just can't get that clutch play on a 3rd down or 4th down on both sides of football.
That's just an experience. Unfortunately, this game won't be game of the week, but if it would be possible, here for the what could have beens will be facing off against 7th rounders next week. Those two teams seem to be the creme de la creme of Division 6D.
Before we move away from this game, quick shout out to Jason Cassandra. He emailed us today
just read that before the show.
Stats and what we can do to make it more informational. So, for example, we have a strength of schedule analyzer internally. So he's like, can we get some information in terms of, how teams are trending, et cetera, on the website? So some great suggestions, and we'll be trying to incorporate those as fast as we can.
We need to change the website first.
Yes, I know.
Put on the poll. Do you like the website? Yes or no?
The answer is no.
No one's going to answer yes.
Put on the poll. Let's just see how long that will last before the president calls us up and say, guys.
Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to give a shit.
We got, hey, listen, all I know is I had a lot of shit about articles this week, and part of that reason is the website doesn't work well.
That was pretty funny.
Our ideas
are
ahead of our capacity to produce them, unfortunately.
Defiance at its best when we have people angry at the articles.
Well, that's fine. To be honest, we want input. We want to know what people like
good.
and people don't like. So
that's good. Waiting to get Tyler Grondin on air.
You've reached.
And we'll hope to get him on soon enough.
we're not screaming at his answering machine?
Oh, we should
No,
have.
that's only for staff.
Okay, we'll call Simone later in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see if Simone lets us announce the Hall of Famers on the show. And if he doesn't answer, we'll let him hear about it.
We'll ruin his fun. Hopefully get Tyler Grondin on soon enough.
Like that.
Tyler Grondin, how you been, sir?
I've been pretty good. You?
Good. He has no idea who this is, huh? This is Moe Khan here.
Yeah.
You're on the show.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Tyler, we have a question for you. 2 questions for you. Do you like the league website? Yes or no?
It depends. Like, you're talking about all the articles, or you're talking about the website in general?
Website in general, and then part B, the articles.
The website in general is pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Nice political answer.
There we go.
Yeah.
And the articles? We're talking about the articles here.
I mean, when I first started FPF, it was chill, but like that dude said on the group earlier today, it's kind of hard to understand all the articles now.
Oof, shots fired at the journalism program here at the FPF.
Again, we're trying something new.
Absolutely.
So we know it's learning
Yeah,
process.
no, you explained yourself pretty well on the post. So like you said, you're working through it. So I'm not really gonna start hating now.
That's okay. We're enemies forever.
Exactly, frenemies.
That's how it's gonna go.
Tyler, great start to the season for you guys. You guys are flying high right now, and the way you guys have gone, it's been an unbelievable way. Talk to us about the game on Sunday, a close one against 89.9ers. I actually saw a bit of the game from where I was at Lachine, and I was a bit surprised to see how close the game was, and the final score being a 1-point victory. Was it one of those games where it was sort of that sluggish affair, and you kind of have to slog your way through that process to get that victory?
Well, I'll start off with the bye week. The bye week kind of slowed us down a bit, but we also had a different mentality going into the game last week. Facing a team that we haven't really seen But yeah, I'm just gonna say that we just had a different mentality going into the game last week than we did all year long. Usually, when we go into the game, we don't know what they can do or what really they possess. So usually we just we go in there thinking that they're a really good team, and I guess last week we didn't really have that mentality. So, but this week I know I've seen our upcoming opponents, and I'll be honest with you, our mentality going into this week is a little different.
Tyler, I first saw you play. It was your first season, and one thing I remarked was I liked the physical skills, but I was concerned about your ability to read the field. You really weren't progressing through reads, and you kind of predetermined a lot of your throws early on.
I'll agree.
So what changed for you? Because I'm really impressed by how you improved this season.
Well, I'll be honest with you. After last season, I guess I played a lot of Madden. I tried to, look up flag post football games and see how QBs read the defenses. I'll say I looked into a lot of that, and that's probably why I'm a little bit more successful now. I'm not going to say that I'm there yet, but
the turnovers.
I would say,
speaking as a guy who turns the ball over a ton too, the turnovers are something definitely you're gonna want to work on. But still, it's a process. Sure. It's a process that takes long. And in my experience, Tyler, you tell me if it's similar at all for you. But my experience has been, it's tough, and then you learn something and you improve. But then like the next level doesn't come right away, and you kind of have to work through till you get to that next point as well.
Exactly. I'll say the turnovers is really because I'm forcing the ball a lot. Like we do have a lot of playmakers on offense, so I try to give them the ball as much as possible. Especially Mick. Mick is probably one of the best players we have on our team, and give him a little shout out.
Well, I was going to ask you. That was my next question too, Tyler. You have some ball catchers on your roster. You talk about McKernan, Arsenault, Alex Larocque, and of course Michael Kevin. Let me give you a scenario right now. It's the last play. You're inside the red zone. Who's getting the football to win the football game?
Oof, I don't know. I'd say I'd look for everybody in the red zone.
You need to choose one. This is do or die here, Grondin. You can't. If you want to be a great quarterback, you can't hesitate here.
If I had to choose, definitely Mick. Definitely Mick. I would say the way he does his fades, man. I actually haven't seen anything like it so far. So.
Are you guys? By the way, are you guys all G Unit fans? Is that what it is?
No, I'll be straight up. I was supposed to get jerseys for our team at the beginning of the year, but I kind of screwed that up. So we ended up going with the G Unit shirts, and we're Tropic Thunder, so it kind of works out. We're all G's.
So you guys are right now in Division 6D. You guys, the core of your team had been together for a while and struggled, and now you're doing well. You're likely going to make the playoffs and likely going to be promoted into Division 6. You've played kind of both divisions in the past, if I'm not mistaken. So given that, do you think there's going to be any adjustment period once you guys get to the playoffs?
I'll be honest with you. I would say just going through the rest of the season is pretty much an adjustment period itself. But getting to the playoffs, like you said, I mean, those are teams that are supposed to be there. They prove themselves all year long. So obviously, once we get to the playoffs, it would be we would have to adjust some things for sure. Maybe add in a couple plays here and there. Maybe adjust our offense a little bit better. Run some play action.
Well, the thing is, Tyler, just to further elaborate, I mean, yes, Peeze made a great point. You guys will be promoted to the higher division of the playoff caliber. So how do you guys mentally prepare for that? Because, again, you're playing 6D, which is obviously the bottom rung of the hierarchy of the FPF world here. But how do you guys get yourself mentally ready for the fact that you'll going up a weight level category and be playing better competition next month?
I would say, like I said, just by playing every week. Like you said, last week wasn't a very good example of it, but next, like I said, this weekend and every other week before the playoffs, we're gonna try to put our foot to the throttle and get her done.
Are you guys? Do you believe your team, once you guys get the promotion call to the 6 playoffs, do you believe you're the best 6D team right now at the halfway point of the season?
No, I'm not going to say that we're the best team, but I'm going to say that we could probably compete with the best team. So I'm not going to say that we're the best team right now, but I'm sure we have the personnel to take it the distance for sure.
Oh, tough words.
Yeah.
Very tough words over there. Eagle, you always have your question for our guest here. What's your question for the week, Eagle?
I guess I don't really have one.
Nice.
The closest one I can come
Shocked,
up with
well
was...
prepared.
It's not like you had 5 minutes to prepare while we're asking
Okay, well,
other questions.
here's one. So every year we do our
Unprofessional.
our free agent combine, let's say. What do you always
what?
think about the free agent combine?
Okay, yeah.
So what do you think about the actual format of it? Because we never really get feedback from existing players. So
I'll be honest with you. I personally like it because it gives me a chance to see some players that possibly could be a good addition to my team. But to be honest, really I go there maybe to get some reps, a little warm up, just to get acquainted with all the people there. But other than that, yeah, I would say it's a good thing to have, especially if players don't really know the league that well yet. It's a good thing to keep doing, really.
Last question for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I expect you guys to be undefeated by the end of the season, to be 10-0 going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
you've been
Stiff arm this
cursed.
week.
Yeah, the curse of being undefeated going to the playoffs.
Shut up.
Will we see you?
Is that really what you think? We're going to be undefeated?
Well, the way you guys are going, you guys are rolling through, right? You got an uber confident quarterback in yourself. We got 3 pass catchers that can give Alabama a good run for their money for receiving cores. Defense is playing very well, right? You guys are top 3 in points allowed in 6D this season. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm trying to stroke the ego here. So what I'm trying to imply is that will we see you April 4th or 5th for the Div 6 final with Tropic Thunder in it?
Yeah, I could say we could be there, but I don't want to. Like I said, I really just want to take it 1 week at a time, because like I said, sometimes you say some stuff and it doesn't work out for you in the future. So, like I said, I'm just trying to take it 1 week at a time. I'm really more concentrated on the game that's coming up this week, and like I said, 1 week at a time.
Look at that, real hockey player answer over there.
Why are you leaning forward on your profile pic?
Why am I leaning forward?
Yeah, on your
your
profile pic.
headshot.
It's really weird. It's
I don't know. Maybe it's because my head was a little heavier than usual that day.
Oh, it looks like your chaps are just bulging out from your T-shirt. That's what it is. Anyway, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully these questions.
No problem.
weren't
Thank you guys for having me, and keep doing what you're doing, bro. It works.
We'll try to retool the articles for you and many others.
Only for Tyler.
Well, I would say it's not just for me. I'm not the only one that liked it, but you guys should, like you said, you're working on it, so I'll check it out for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me again.
Take care.
Have a nice night, guys.
Be good. Tyler Grondin. Eagle with the prepared question over there. Look at his
It was the most generic trash question
that was such a
It's
terrible.
because
ever.
Because every year we're never sure exactly how many people are going to show up to the combine. So Tyler happened to be there this year, and we're 11 people. So we're like, Tyler, you want to play? He's like, sure, no problem. So he kind of filled in and tried to teach people offense, defense, and all that stuff. Snapper, DB, rusher. So wherever we needed him, he kind of just filled in. So that's why it was on my mind. Great community member, and obviously, like you said, he also cheated by getting some extra FPF time into his schedule there with no cost for the field. So for other captains, that's a great way to do warm-ups with your team without having to pay for a field.
All right, let's go quick here. We're going to do our swipe left, swipe right mid-season report card for all these teams in 6D and 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw
Where are we starting?
We're already starting now.
Where though?
6D. We'll go
I just
6D.
need to open a tab.
I know. And I'm going to throw out these teams to Peeze. Give me a 3-word answer Try to keep a quality of words, not the quantity of words.
So we're doing this for 218 teams?
All of them, my friend. We said we
Can
were.
we just do Div 6D first?
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
We're going live right now, man. We're going swipe left, swipe right, mid-season report card, Tropic Thunder. Swipe left or swipe right?
What does what mean?
Swipe right means you like. Swipe left means you don't like.
It's true. You've never done Tinder, eh?
I literally started dating my now wife a second before online dating was really popular.
It's like, Peeze, you want to wait 5 more seconds? No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I'm good. All right, cool.
So swipe.
Swipe left means that you don't like the person, so you're disregarding the person, and
Okay.
swipe right means you like them.
I'm going to swipe right because I think they're going to be a strong 9-1 team because they're losing this week to Stiffy Arm. Coming into Division 6 from Division 16.
All right, Trojans 5-0.
Like the Trojans, I have liked them for a while. I like the fact that they can score. Very impressed.
Swipe right then. All right, Stiffy Arm.
Stiffy Arm. I mean, it looks like they may not need me to swipe on them, but I will definitely swipe right. Liking the fact that they have nearly 100 point differential so far. That's impressive. That's why they're going to be Tropic Thunder this week.
Inglorious Bastards.
Poorly named team. I will swipe left.
All right, Believe the Hype.
Believe the hype. I'm actually liking the fact that they are in the development division and improving. Always had a lot of talent, and now they're actually living up to their hype. Give me a swipe right on Believe the Hype.
South Shore Seaman.
I'm swiping left. Do not believe they're allowing far too many points. They have less defense than if they would have had too many drinks on Valentine's Day.
I don't know, man. That's a swipe right to me.
Yeah, Siegel, highly inappropriate.
Killer-
Just make sure that you got Bill Walton's Trojans on you.
There you go. Killer Rays, left or right?
I'm gonna swipe left on Killer Rays. Again, I don't think too much of the defense at this point.
Ball in 60s.
I'm going to swipe right. Ball in 60s. They got 2 ties, which works out to be as if you won a game and lost the game. They put up 40 on Rosas this week, so I'm swiping right.
It's actually worse than that because the tie break is wins. So 2 ties is really bad.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
but
good for
I don't think they'll be.
You're
in the
better
Super-
off with a win and a loss than 2 ties.
Yeah, pretty much.
Correct. But if you're going to have 2 ties, the best way to do it is to have 2 ties.
You only have 1 tie.
That's true. I only have 1, so you got 1 more tie than I do.
Diablos, left or right?
I am going to swipe left. Is the bad one?
Yes,
Left. I like the dudes a lot, but Sun is just not improving enough at quarterback. He's not running a system, I think, that is best suited to him. And even when Alex Gartainsfield has played quarterback, it still hasn't looked the part. Just something's off, and I just don't think the pieces fit for what is best for whoever's quarterback in that team.
What the hell's FP-inder?
It's Tinder, but with FPF.
Yeah, but you should have put it like it's terrible. Okay.
FP,
Anyway.
it's FP-inder.
Yeah, exactly.
FP-inder.
Yeah. Sounds like an Indian name. Finder. All right, BDR. Left or right?
I'm gonna.
Is that
swipe.
better?
Yes.
I'm gonna swipe left. Vince Romano's 10 interceptions is far too much, and not completing 50% of his passes. You're not gonna win games doing that, and they haven't won a game yet.
89.9ers.
I mean, so all these teams now don't have wins. So I'm sorry, I don't date losers.
Okay, so raw sauce included?
Raw sauce included. Plus, I don't feel like getting sick. You know, like it's Valentine's. Your name's Raw Sauce. It sounds like a trip to the hospital. Get out of my face. Don't call me. Lose my number.
All right, 7th rounders.
I am swiping right hard on 7th rounders. They're winning the Division 6 championship.
Studs. The studs.
I'm swiping left. I'm not.
What?
I'm swiping left. I'm not a believer in Les Studs.
He's more into hometown
homie
boys.
types.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not the studs.
yeah, seriously. Like I want to know you'll be there for me at night. But no, in all seriousness, what I don't like about Les Studs was I wasn't crazy about which game I'm referencing a specific game, but of course the internet is not being my friend. They played a close game against the Buccaneers. I thought they should wipe the floor with them. Other than that, they played Here for the Beer. They played Lionhearts. They played Goon Squad. and Mountain Goats. A lot of teams are struggling. Impressed by the win this week, but other than that, the resume is not impressive. So, like, I'm sorry, False Kings.
Very arrogant, Studs are. Very arrogant.
Well, and they're False Kings, so they got nothing to be arrogant about.
You want me to check the schedule analyzer?
Yes, please.
All right, what could have been?
I'm swiping right. I like them a lot. 226 points scored in 5 games is monstrous. They took it to Buccaneers. They did what they had to do against Buccaneers. Really liking what I see. Sean Brown again. He doesn't even do anything particularly impressive. Just doesn't make a ton of mistakes, and that's winning football.
Zone 6 ballers.
I'm swiping right, but I think I'm swiping with my heart, Moe Khan.
Yes, because you have a love affair with the Zone 6
Yeah,
ballers.
I love James Valbenard. Really good dude. Really, really talented player, although hasn't brought it all together as a quarterback just yet, but I'm liking it so far.
Lionhearts.
That's another one that's got my heart. I know on Valentine's Day it's about another appendage, but this time Valentine's Day is unmistakably about the heart, and I'm going with Lionhearts.
Sorry, go ahead.
I like them a lot. A lot of size. It's cool to see a team again in this Division 4 development, and they are developing. So glad to see it. Buccaneers, swiping left. Not a fan. Don't
I
like
swipe
it.
right on these guys.
No, you know what? For all the talent in the world, you need organization. They're not there yet. I think they're going to be a team in a season or two. Like they kind of like Lionhearts, and in a season or two, we'll look the part and we'll be ready. So I do like them, but swipe left for now. Maybe call me next year. Next Valentine's.
I'll swipe right on them because I think they have potential.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work them in a little bit. Goon Squad.
Goon Squad spend more time. They never even make it to the date. They can spend so much time arguing amongst themselves, and there is some talent on this team. So it's frustrating to see Michael Barbucci having a great season. Matthew Gagliardi a little less involved than I expected, but teams got talent on the team, but again, when I've seen them play, a lot of infighting, and that's not a recipe for success.
Replacements.
I wanna believe in replacements, Mo. I wanna swipe right so hard. Frank Thioli Colatrellas. Remember, I was talking to Tyler Grondin about quarterbacks make leaps in stages. He's made a leap. He seems like a guy I can take home to my parents. Just not there yet on the defensive side of the ball.
Your analogy, I want to swipe right so hard. I felt like, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I meant what I said.
Okay,
I
cool.
meant what I said. When I think about Frank Thioli Colatrella, swiping, it's hard.
All right, I'm going to group the 9, 10, 11, 12. So SAFTB.
Saturdays are for the boys.
Mountain Goats, Green Wave, and Here for the Beer. I'm going to group them together.
So, okay, let's put it this way. So this is how we're going to handle these ones, Mo. The ones that are at the bottom of the tables, how I feel about them is as follows. I want to talk about which of the ones, if I've struck out all night long, and I'm at the bar, and I'm about 10 whiskeys deep, who's getting my drunk text asking if they're still up? That's what I'm doing.
Here for the Beer.
That's for you? It's Here for the Beer? Why? They've only scored 31 points.
I think that would be easy for you.
Is it because you don't want to put out? You know they can't score?
I think it would be easier for you to get those guys.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
My standards are a little higher. I'm going to go with Mountain Goats. I think they've played a little bit above their level. And you know what? I like someone's going to come and feel like they got to earn me a little bit.
So here's a fun one for you. Tropic Thunder, what could have been to Anley Studs. Actually, Trojans too. They all have a perfect record so far. They also have the easiest schedule so far.
False Kings.
All of them are
False
boy.
Kings. We got a bunch of Honey Martins up in here.
Oh, boy. All right, let's go to 6. We're going to go through these 6. By the way, what division we're doing in this hour besides 6, 6D?
3.
3, no problem.
We're doing Division 3 after this.
No
And,
problem.
we may even get to this year's Hall of Fame inductions.
All right, perfect. Let's zip through these teams here. Okay, potatoes. Swipe right or swipe left?
Guy, you gotta like, what's the word I always use to buy time?
Scallop.
You gotta scallop some more, man.
I know. I'm setting you up, though. You can,
I know, but it's not my fault that
You have to scallop before he gets the potatoes.
Yeah, you gotta scallop my potatoes, bro.
5-1.
I'm happy with the potatoes, dude. Like, They're a team that were awful. Awful, despite the fact that having Billy Katurglu, who's very talented, JJ Cosentini's matchup nightmare, and this season really putting it together. Big win against Trailer Park Boys. They can scallop my potatoes any night.
Winning the Bish.
This team's too good for the division, so I'm swiping left
Prime time.
because I can't do it. I can't.
We need a bish. Another easy schedule.
Yeah, I don't.
Second easiest of 6.
I don't need you to come into our date being all like, I'm the shit. No, man. Like, come on. I want to be real with you. Be real with me. Be real with me.
Prime time.
Prime time. The points allowed bother me, so I'm going to swipe left. They're going to get exposed early in the playoffs. One and done. Don't put that game in prime time. Put it middle of the day.
No, puts
3 o'clock playoff game.
Loyola 3 p.m.
Yeah,
All right,
Loyola 3 p.m.
Masters of coin.
Masters of Coin is another hard swipe right. Big fan of Benji Ziegler. I wanna take them up for seafood dinner, and actually I'll pay the bill. I won't even let them reach for the bill because that's how much I like them.
Hardest schedule thus far.
And putting up 130, having a 41 plus minus differential so far. That's impressive.
Trailer Park Boys.
I'm swiping left. I love Trailer Park Boys. I love the reference to one of my favorite TV shows, and I love the dudes, Antoine Meunier. Really, really good dude. Student of the game. That said, I expected them to be atop this table. What are you doing at 500? Why are you slumming it? It's like you meet someone and they have a meth addiction, and they try to convince you that it's not that bad. Guys, your meth addiction is terrible.
Fridge Raiders.
Fridge Raiders, I'm actually going to swipe right because I didn't expect much from them. Great name. Love the name so far.
Cool uniforms.
Cool uniforms as well. And the team itself has been solid. I like Merlin Arcan's involvement. 308 yards, 10 touchdowns. They really do need a second guy to step up to be that next threat. When they do so, I think Simon Gauthier can be that guy. If they do that, then I think I'll be justified in swiping right.
Tanking for Tua.
Again, being that I'm a Dolphins fan, I have a soft spot. So I think I'm just picking with my heart. But I'm going to swipe right, and also the page hasn't loaded for me. So
and you might
Eagle,
not
give me a reason I'm swiping right on Tanking for Tua.
The name's cool.
He might be going to the Lions at number 3. All right, stop
so
whining.
There's actually no statistical reason to vote for them, by the way. They're exactly 500 with a schedule of 500.
Again, so so no information.
Stop whining.
Stop whining.
Great quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, they've allowed a ton of points despite their scoring, and the internet has officially died. So I hate that I can't bring up more information about them.
No worries, man. We're going off of
Stop whining.
Yeah, I guess I'll stop whining about the internet. So I don't like that they reminded me that I'm whiny, so I'm going to swipe left.
All right.
Stop whining.
Stack your roster and menace to sobriety. We're going to group them together left or right.
Both teams. Oh, so Menace to Sobriety. I don't like the whole boys to men thing. It's stupid. And Stack Your Roster, you can't have that name and be 1-5.
Suicide Squad.
Maybe they should stack the roster.
Perhaps. Suicide Squad.
I'm liking Suicide Squad, to be honest. And like, what is there not to like? Undefeated so far, only allowing 55 points, 11 points a game. That's pretty huge.
Trap Stars.
And legit wins, by the way.
What?
Legit wins. They're playing against 530 teams. So
If I had to pick a wingman in this division, it would be a Ryan Garber. So we're going out. We're taking home the trophy, if you know what I mean, with Trap Stars.
Average Joes.
False Kings. Swipe left. Throw my phone in the garbage because it even popped up on my phone.
All right,
they're
Benjamin.
actually not. They're
They were like last week.
no.
Yes. Oh no, it was Honey Martin. The False Kings.
Yes.
All right. False Kings. Throw my phone in the garbage. I'm
All
standing by
right.
it.
Pension plan.
I'm swiping left because this team should be dominating. They have the best quarterback in the division, and they're not winning. They're basically one game away from being 500, gone the other way. Don't like that they're not scoring quite enough, and they're not good defensively. Like what's even? I know Vince Pisano is very good, but what is this team's identity at this point? It seems kind of lost.
Third easiest schedule.
What?
Third easiest schedule.
Man,
for
you're
pension
false
plan.
flops.
Shambo.
I don't get it. So much talent. This is someone who you want, like, you want to swipe. You want to. Okay, this is it.
I'm listening.
I like Shambo. I like Perez. I like Jacob Boydman. I love those dudes. The problem with them is that you want to swipe, but one of your boys already slept with them, so you can't do it. You can't do it. It's like, I know it'd be good, but it'd be awkward for me and Mo after. Like, Mo, man, I know you F with them before. Now what am I gonna do?
They have the easiest schedule, and they're only 500.
And they're one of the most talented teams in the division.
Space Apes.
I don't understand Space Apes. So because I don't understand them, I'll swipe left. I thought this team was going to be very good. JF the lows in this division is nonsense, but swipe left.
Kings of the North.
Kings of the North, you change quarterback, you're not loyal. How about you learn about loyalty? Throw yourselves in the garbage. Swipe left.
MacDo.
MacDo, I wanted to buy you guys some chocolates real hard. I wanted to get you that candy box. Was a big fan of them, and I expected them to be one of the top teams in the division. Instead of 1-4, what is this nonsense? They knocked out Hot Sauce Sports in the playoffs. Hot Sauce Sports has moved up a division. They're still there and losing. Get out of here with this garbage.
All right, we're going to group them together. Llamas, Pajamas, Wolfpack.
Llamas and Pajamas refuse to talk about. Wolfpack, I'm swiping left because 209 points. Jesus Christ.
All right, Eagle, what was the breakdown of right to left in this?
So
Yeah,
left
because
means
I
you
was
don't like
obviously
them.
calculating that.
Right means you do like them.
Yeah,
no?
exactly. Well, Eagle should have been keeping track of what you.
Also, which ones are singles in my area?
All of them.
Which ones are within range?
You ever realize that when they say there's hot singles in your area, they might be talking about you?
They never are, unfortunately.
All right, let's go to Div 3 and recap the week that was quickly before we get to our swipe left, swipe right. In terms of games that we saw, I was going to say Eagle. Let's say Peeze. I beg your pardon on that, Peeze. Peeze, what games caught your attention from Div 3? There's a bunch of games that
How about you talk about the one that caught your attention, Mo?
Well, that's it. I was going to say there's a bunch of games that caught my attention from Div 3.
Can we talk about All Hooks and Martinet Le Flag, 32-31?
I didn't see that game, so that didn't catch my attention.
So you can talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it either. I'm just saying it's a tight game. So
Let's talk about Brotherhood, my lord.
Okay.
This was a game that was a bit feisty. Low scoring. It was
So
zero.
I peered over a little bit. It was at the time of one of my games in
Right.
2 fields away, so I saw a little bit, but couldn't see a ton of it, Mo. We'll take your input.
It was 0-0 late in the first half, then Brotherhood scored. In the second half, kind of a bit of an explosion of points. Defensive fest, Theo Jaya, that secondary played very well. I believe they had 3 INTs, but they could have had more in that football game. That secondary was nuts for the Brotherhood. But again, I know they went ugly. They're not going to score 55 points per game here. But I wonder if they're still playing with house money, given how low the scoring was in this matchup. But once you go up against teams in the playoffs, I don't know if they can keep up with this low scoring affair.
You gotta be able to score 5. You gotta be able to score 5 touchdowns. We always say it. At some point in a playoff game, you're gonna need to score 5 times. That said, Brotherhood's defense is absolutely stifling, which is again to be expected when you have Theo J, Khalil Kerr, Omar Jackson, Ben O'Hyan. Like the talent on this team is nasty, absolutely nasty.
And they didn't play Jeremy Ronson because of the cap. They couldn't go over the cap in the process.
And Le Malud play similarly in that they kind of play a little slow too. So it looks like a kind of game that only had 5 or 6 possessions. Theo J turning the ball over twice, and Le Malud unable to truly capitalize on it. I think Boshaf Rizza had a terrible game.
Oh, he did, but Khalil Kerr had a really good Russian day, and he got the last sack to end off the game here. But Sep Tebow is a crybaby, but that's another story for another day. All right.
So I heard about that. What happened?
I just see what he is.
Because there was also an issue with his other team.
Yeah.
At some point, though, dude, like, if it's always somebody else, maybe it's not somebody else.
I was like, dude, I don't care. Like he came up to me.
Tyler.
I was like, wrong name, Tyler. Yeah, he came up to me. I was like, dude, I don't care, man. I'm trying to press buttons for the next game. I'll see you later. All right, games that caught your attention. Peace.
Greendale Human Beings beat Junkyard Dogs.
So yeah, but a beatdown though.
Yeah, did not expect that. Greendale Human Beings trying to find themselves in this division, and Danny Elward was just awesome. Just controlled the game the entire time. Did the Danny Elward thing. Continuously move the ball. For a team as experienced and as defensive oriented as Junkyard Dogs, you can't take Alex Joltapuf, the snapper, away.
It's tough. It's tough.
I mean, Look, Sniper has some built-in advantages, and Alex Joltipov is about as good as it is. But you gotta make an effort. You can't let a guy go off for nine catches and 3 touchdowns on you.
Well, look
You
at Rory
just
Submerjan, right? 2 for 11 for 1 TD.
Mhm.
You're not going to win if Rory's only getting those numbers.
Yeah.
You can't win those games. Some other games that caught my attention. Bearskins beat Lonzo Ballers 27-20. That's a big one in terms of context of the playoff seedings and who will make it and who won't make it. Martin Lefag and All Hooks winning 32-31. Surprised by this close scoreline? No, I think both teams are very
They're
good.
very similar in terms of when you watch them play.
Yeah.
It kind of feels just like two young, athletic, fun squads, exciting teams to watch. So, not entirely surprised. The surprising part about it for me, Steve Levine still recovering from an injury, so he's getting to game shape. But the surprising part was Samuel Bedard throws 4 interceptions and they lose by a point.
That's crazy. That's absolutely
That's
nuts.
insanity.
That's nuts, though. But C.O. Levine's back, which is good news for All Hooks because he definitely is a game changer for them. All right, let's do our swipe left, swipe right for Division 3 because we have about 14 minutes and change before Eagle cuts us off at the throat. All right, so Division 3,
Nobody's dying today.
thankfully not.
Well, dying to find out who's in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe Valentine's Day
tonight.
Massacre. Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Conference A, Junkyard Dogs, swipe left, swipe right.
I'm kind of disappointed by that one loss, but it is one loss. The team itself is strong. We expected them to be one of the best teams in the division. They have been. I'm swiping right because I know what I'm getting. What I'm getting is good.
KGP champs or KGP? I beg your pardon.
KGP again. It's this is especially this conference. Mo is the dependable conference. So no one's sexy, but everyone is someone you wouldn't mind going on a date with. So give me KGP. Cutler's making it happen.
Trinity.
I like Trinity a lot. I always have the defense. The defensive issues are present. Obviously, they're giving up a ton of points. 128 points in 5 games is far too many. That said, 58 of those points came in the last 2 games. So I don't want to overreact to that. I think they'll right the ship and give me dependable Trinity and that beautiful bald head of JF Markey.
Niners.
Gonna swipe right.
Oh, swipe right. That means you like them.
I do like them. I like the teams at 4-1. Again, they're all the teams you expected to be right about 4-1, 5-0.
Fourth hardest schedule, and they're 800. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of numbers. Pineapple Express, swipe left, swipe right.
I'm not a believer. I'm gonna swipe left.
Swipe left.
I like the talent on the team. It just doesn't seem quite cohesive enough. It's a big roster. They don't seem to have the same guys every week. That's kind of the stuff that bothers me as we head to playoff time. For that reason, it's not the talent. The talent is absolutely there. AJ Gomes, Don Benevento, really good players. Chris Olsen, we know what he can do, but it's just not cohesive enough for me.
Dirty Dogs.
Dirty Dogs are what Dirty Dogs are. Like, if you go out on a date and you expect Dirty Dogs to arrive on time or play defense, they're not going to do it. Ryan Leonowski's improved as a quarterback, but despite having scored 171 points in 5 games, they have a -1 point differential.
Unreal. Green Deal Human Beings.
I hate to do it, but I'm swiping left. I don't think Danny Elward's quite ready for this level of competition yet. He's going to make me look stupid, though, right?
He probably will.
They're going to rattle off wins rest of the way. That win against Junkyard Dogs is huge, and I'm super
huge.
impressed.
Yeah, because
but come on, man. Like, how even is their strength of schedule, Eagle?
For Dirty Dogs?
Dirty Dogs, yeah.
They are in the middle-ish. They're
Yeah.
500 against 500.
That's what I'm saying. So like they're not playing particularly well, and they're not even playing the toughest competition. They probably have some tougher games ahead of them too.
So Green Deal Human Beings, just quickly here, that win over Junkyard Dogs. Had they lost that football game, they would have been 13th right now.
Yeah.
So they jumped literally 6 spots to get into the 7th hole. So that could be their difference in why they make or don't make the playoffs. All right, Backyard Bullies.
I'm gonna swipe right. I just the team's stacked. It's such a great team. Rich Humes is really looking good. He's really looking like he's finally fully recovered from his ACL tear. John McQueen and those guys, just really, really good roster that's underperformed. I can't imagine that it's going to continue that way.
District.
District is another team I am particularly interested in.
Don't be.
Why?
Okay.
They basically they're a 400 team against 440 teams, so that's
Yeah.
not good.
I know. I like them. They're fun. They're exciting. A lot of talent. A lot of unknown talent in FPF. Guy like Vincent Beauregard. Guy like William Trottier. These guys are good players. I'm gonna regret this date, aren't I?
Yep.
I'm gonna regret it. The Eagle. Usually, when I ask you a question, it's a largely audio medium. Your face isn't even on camera. You need to say the word yes or no.
I did say. I said
Yeah.
yeah.
After a while, you were nodding for like 30 seconds before you said yeah.
Their opponents in general have scored 1,400 points for and have had 1,500 points against, and District is just not putting up points right now.
Yeah, I know, and it's bizarre.
POP.
Well, I hate them.
I know you do. That's why.
So swiping left. Why
All
am I wrong, Mo?
Is it because they are past their prime?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
do
they're
this joke
old.
every week.
Old.
This has been a cold war.
Old.
It's been a cold war with you and POP for years.
It isn't, but sure. Old.
So I intentionally did POP by itself. We're in a group now. Sweating Beers, Easy Jake Oven, Game Changers, and Olympia Performance. Swipe left, swipe right for those
Again,
4
who
teams.
am I likely to drunk dial?
Game Changers.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Easy Jake Oven. Dondre Borden, Kevin Smuda, Marty Friedman, Noah Groper. There's just so much talent for Jake Applebaum to go to, and it just hasn't worked so far. I don't understand it. But the team is immensely talented. At some point, talent wins an FPF.
So
I'm
would
drunk
you
dialing.
make sure if your lips start getting a little bit chapped, you'd use some apple balm?
Ah, yeah, it's a nice little play on words over there.
Yeah,
Brotherhood.
well, I mean, bye. Although,
Bye?
it's not by yourself. Sorry, I
Wrong
don't know.
game.
It's all versions of the same Mo game.
And also the stock version, we've already talked about this. Mo does it wrong. So.
I'm gonna swipe right, but my God, guys, just score more points, please.
Malud.
I'm swiping left. I thought they would be the clear best team in Division 3. They're not. They're middle of the pack. They're going to lose an early playoff game, and I'm going to be disappointed.
Keyport lock.
I am swiping left. Jeff Rosenblatt has become an exceptional quarterback. We used to make fun of their offense forever, and the dude's developed to become a really complete passer. The defense isn't quite there yet, but I think there's time to improve. The offense is absolutely there.
The crew.
I love the crew, man. Swipe. I'm swiping right all day.
Mistake. Their opponents are 440. Easiest schedule. Mistake.
Eagle. I'm 37 years old. I got married last year when I was turning 37. The reason for that is I made terrible decisions while dating. This might be one of them.
Jagerbomb.
Jagerbomb. I'm always gonna swipe right on Jagerbomb. You know what they are? Jagerbomb are like that. Like I'm the guy who ruins their relationship. I keep texting them back and calling them back, even though I know we're probably not gonna hook up again. But just puts enough doubt that they're gonna leave whoever they're with. I'm sorry, guys, but I can't let you go.
Martin LA Flag.
Martin LaFlag, I'm swiping right, and I love Martin LaFlag. They are fun. They're exciting. They're not fully formed yet. They're making a lot of mistakes, but I'm definitely swiping right.
Bearskins.
This is another team that always makes me pay, but I'm swiping right. Ettinson, bro, you gotta figure it out. The defense isn't gonna be able to carry you. The team's been in a middle of the pack offense. Come on, we know you're better than this.
Commission.
Swipe left. I hate to do it because they're a team that's won a championship, but the inconsistency in the roster is going to continuously harm them. I'm a strong believer in Corey Walowski. That said, he did miss a game that is going to have an impact. But, man, only putting up 12 points against the crew. And they're two teams I feel that are on par with each other when it comes to talent, Mo. It's frustrating to see.
I believe they had the lowest scoring points for a team holding the playoff spot. I think they're the only team in the minus points.
That's a
differential.
lot of qualifiers. Of the teams that play on Monday that are old enough that the average age was alive to see Gremlins 2, they are the team that scored the least points.
All hooks.
I mean, look, for a guy who hates defense and finds it stupid, these guys are my jam, but I gotta swipe left because you guys can't stop a leak with a dam. It's look, you got Steel Levine back. Hopefully that fixes everything, and hopefully he can put up 50 points a game. But all hooks, ECW, you guys are too talented to not figure it out. It's insane.
All right, we're gonna group it now: LeBrum, Lelu, and Lonzo Ballers.
So who are you most likely to drunk dial?
Lonzo Ballers.
0-5.
Yeah.
Why? 5-1 actually.
In their defense,
0-5,
Lou and Lonzo Ballers have very tough schedules.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna drunk dial LeBron. I just really like the team. I love. What's QB's name again?
For LeBrum?
Yeah, the dude you hate on all the time.
I don't hate on anyone.
You
for
hate
LeBrum.
on him all the time.
What I hate the quarterback for?
I don't remember, but you called him out like a million times.
Did I really? Oh, Jimmy Janvier.
Yeah, my dude, Triple J. I love the dude's got a rocket. I love that he's always on attack. It's too much. Like he takes too many chances for no reason, but I love it. I think it's great. Give me LeBron. You're my drunk dial.
All
And
right.
it's good because they got a guy named Handy Joseph.
Okay. Are we not doing the Hall of Fame?
Oh man, we ran out of time. We'll have to do that next hour.
Hall
Next-
of Fame.
Keep watching, guys. We'll get to Hall of Fame announcements next hour.
How
it's
many names are going to induct next hour? 1 or 2?
we actually did already announce. We have 3 players, 1 staff member, and 1 referee this year. So 5 people total. We did it a little bit differently this year, percentage vote instead of just top 5, so a little bit more prestigious to get in. I know that was a complaint that a lot of Hall of Famers had, so we made that change. So yeah, we only got 3 this year. Very exclusive group.
Okay. All right. Eagles. We're going to do that hour number 2, right? Hour number 2.
Yeah.
What do you have lined up for hour number 2, Eagle?
We have the women's division. We have
yes.
the co-ed division, which is going to be awesome.
Oh, we got a guest for the women's division too.
We do. We have Aljoundi, who's going to be on.
She was a ref in my game yesterday.
Yes,
Very
she
impressed.
was.
Very impressed.
And we'll also cover Division 5A and 5B at the same time.
All right. So we're going to do all that in 1 for hour number 2. Stay tuned on Calling the Audible.
Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye, ego, I'm a taker. Shaker, yeah, she was a born shaker. She shake me out that door.
All right, welcome back to Calling the Audible. It is the Valentine's Day edition, which is the mid-season report card. We do a swipe left, swipe right.
We're not doing that for the women's division
No.
because that would be highly inappropriate.
No, we're not.
Who do you think we are? Jeremy Roenick?
Oh, dude, that was, it's not good. That was not good, Jim Rowley.
It's okay though. His hockey analysis is worse.
You know what? I believe I have his number, Jim Rowley.
Really? Can we get it?
Because
Can
years
you get him
ago,
on Hot Sauce Sports? Which, by the way, if you haven't watched yet, Please watch, subscribe, like.
I have to look it up because years ago his book came out and his publicist gave him the number. So I have it somewhere in my email. I have to look for it. So let's see if
But
I
that's
have
his
it.
actual number, or it's like a burner
No,
phone
his cell
for
phone.
media?
His cell phone number.
His actual cell phone.
Yeah, because
You have a direct line to Jeremy Roenick, and you've never told us.
We need Jerry Roenick instantly.
I swear to God, yeah. That
Or
guy,
forget him. We can get anyone in his posse. We could have got anyone from NBC Sports. Not anymore.
Or Ed Belfour's the guy we gotta get.
Yes.
We gotta get Ed Belfour.
Eddie B.
He is the hero of the hot sauce.
Can you
He
Google,
was drunk in a hotel hallway.
Forget about that. Can you Google image Eddie Belfour in his FUBU hoodie, please? That is no, please. It's one of the best pictures ever.
It's not as good as his DUI arrest.
No. This is classic because FUBU, right, was pretty hot back in the late 90s, early 2000s. All right, anyway, as Eagle looks that up, we will do the women's co-ed.
It's not that cool.
Put it on the wall.
It's really not that cool.
Please put it on
But
there.
it's really not that cool.
Let's see it.
All right, this is what keeps Mo up at night.
That's not a good picture of him. There's got to be a better picture.
There's not a good picture of him
Eagle,
wearing.
put up the arrest photo.
I don't want to do that.
I know you have it.
I
'Cause
know
it's
it's not the right show.
Can we just play the video on silent behind
No,
us as
we
we're talking
No,
about the
that's
women's
even
we
worse.
can't, we can't,
I'd
we
rather
can't.
upload the image. To be
All right,
honest.
let's get to the women's. The week that was, Fleur de Lis loses. I'm a bit disappointed.
Wait, here we go. Peace.
There we go. Come on. Doesn't that haunt your dreams? Wouldn't you love it if this was sitting next to you every day, Moe Khan?
He has does he have like a distillery or does he have his own like vodka
Yeah, not
business?
anymore because he drank it all and passed out in a hotel hallway.
Yeah.
All right, women.
Women's Fleur de Lis losing. Now we're
To
through
Team
it.
Texas.
Who do they lose to?
Team
Well,
Texas.
Team Texas. But here's the thing though, right? They only played each other once this year.
So this is the game that counts.
But keep in mind, if we have a 3-8 tie with District, Team Texas, and Fleur de Lis, I guess it goes by point differential at that point because Fleur de Lis is still in first place right now. So my team is still looking pretty solid to perhaps get the number one
Depends
seed.
what you think of converts because,
Well, they lose 2018 though. Am I
Sarah
surprised?
Parker, great convert.
Oh, that would be a
quarterback.
great thing for a tiebreak. Conversion percentage. Okay,
No.
continue. Sorry. Yeah.
They already break the
No.
ties in games where teams score the same.
No, like we
touchdowns.
added on like a 9th criteria instead of coin flip.
Sure.
All right, so Texas
First downs.
wins 2018 over Fleur de Lis. Are you surprised by this?
No,
outcome?
it's Team 1 and Team 1A. They're two best passes in the division, two best teams. Remember what I told you, what I found out through Constance Miller, which hopefully she'll join us next week, is that this team was supposed to represent Team Canada at the competition in Texas. So, it's not surprising that one of the best teams beat the other one of the best teams. But you guys are talking about the wrong game because this isn't even exciting. Huntsic girls, 43-0 over the rookies. Them's be my girls. Huntsic girls taking it to them. It's been tough. It's been tough for them. They scored only 6 points against Team Texas. They won a 9-6 game against Patriot 2 weeks ago. So a team that struggled to score points puts up 43 points in this one here. Emmanuel Brassard was just on fire.
Problem is, the Hunter girls got to play.
Is it a perfect
District.
passer rating?
Actually, maybe. Hold on, let me check.
Problem is,
You know what? Maybe.
Problem is for Hudson girls though, the 3 of the last 4 games they have left, they will play District
Win.
next Monday. Then the 24th they'll play for the list
Win.
on the 24th. Oh, they saying when? My bad. Sorry, I knew you were saying when. My bad. Sorry. And then they have Spartiat, which I think I'll give them the victory
No,
on that one.
132.5 by the way. So no.
Oh.
And they have
I
Team
was going to
Texas.
say, because I was like, my team's quarterback was perfect. Your team's...
Completion percentage wasn't high enough, and
damn.
attempts to touchdown ratio was too low.
and they got Team Texas send off the season.
What do the rookies do? This is 4 games without scoring a point.
Look, the rookies need. Unfortunately, we don't see them physically to see how they are offensively speaking here. But they might have to call up the Eagle Peeze hotline service to get the help on
I
offense.
feel like we're not the ones. I don't want to be the guys mansplaining flag football to women. I don't want to be insulting. I do want to help them. So maybe we can team up with Tara Mrakic, who's noted FPF ref and flag football coach for Vania Cheetahs. So maybe Eagle, we can reach out to Tara, and the three of us can sort of head down and talk to them, because I don't want it to be imposing. I want it to be a learning experience for them, and I want them to be comfortable in that space.
And the problem is that, unfortunately, I mean, it's only one division, right? If there was like a 2-tier system, it'd be a lot easier for them to develop. But in a long-term context, this might be a baptism by fire where it will better them as they would gain more experience.
I mean, the thing is, Elizabeth Fortier has only thrown 5 interceptions. She hasn't scored, but she's not even turning the ball over. So it's usually when teams really struggle, they continuously give the ball away. Like, I was kind of expecting to see, given their lack of success, 15, 16 interceptions. That's not the case.
Who's coming up in 5 minutes, Eagle?
We have Reeze Aljoundi, who'll be joining us.
Reeze Aljoundi join us in 5 minutes. Referee and also a flag football player herself with Vandy College.
Correct.
I'll ask her, is she, if her and Tara Rakic have a good coach-player relationship?
I don't think she would say no.
Or is it like...
Because doesn't she still play for her?
It could be. Or it could be very well like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, perhaps,
They both, yeah.
Or it could be John Manziel, Mike Pettin.
Yeah.
Could be that. You never know.
I hope not.
All right, we'll have her in 5 minutes. Get her thoughts on the women's league and also refereeing, because she's also refereeing this league. And
she had the unpleasant experience of having ref Peeze last night. So.
Oh man, we'll get her thoughts on that one as well.
Yeah.
So back to the rookies though, and where they can improve on. I think the first thing is for them now. Look, they're all first year players. These are players that have not played in this league before. Is probably systems. Can you simplify your system at least to keep it at a minimum pace of, hey, don't send anyone deep, don't go with these exotic plays, and just try to work it from there. And I think that can help them grow and develop organically to become better offensively speaking.
You need to understand the concepts that work in FPF on both sides of the ball and be able to execute them. And, I think that's something that is developed over time. It's something that you won't learn right away. So stick with it. For a long time, it's recent that teams have come into FPF right away and dominated. For a long time, teams in FPF will come in and struggle. My first ever season, I've said this story before, but again, every podcast is someone's first podcast. We went 0-9-1 despite having an NCAA caliber athlete on the team. So it's not just about athleticism. It's not just about how good you are at the game. FPF is a very specific league with very specific rules, and it's difficult. It's a tough learning curve.
Well, you know what? You got to admit, though. Sorry, Eagle. You got to admit that at the halfway point of the season, you have 4 teams at 500 or better, and 3 of them at 3-1. I mean, no one's running away, and crush. I mean, there are some crushing wins or heart-crushing victories. Play on words for Valentine's Day this weekend. But I think if for
the references don't work if you need to explain them all.
I know. I'm just explaining those who don't know. But at this point of the year, to have 4 teams at 500 or better, I think is a strong indication that perhaps the play is getting better as we move deeper into the season.
They are spared a little bit. They play Fleur de Lys next week. It's their only matchup. So they're going to double up with Spartiat, Team Texas, and District. So there's a little bit of opportunity to win some games there, but it's definitely going to be a rough second half of the schedule too.
Not good.
That's it. Like, I keep looking at Hudson Girls, 56 points allowed, 4 games, not so bad. Not so bad.
Just one game with 0 points.
I mean, that's just one game.
Well, think about it. They are the second best defense right now, right?
Saying, second best defense. How about that?
Oh.
You know how I love defense and defensive teams? Hudson Girls, right here.
Can that be Peeze's calling card to?
Loving defense? No.
No.
Well, mind you did throw.
I think I've played 30 downs of defense in my FPF career.
Anyway, perhaps that could be your calling card as well. As Reeze Aljoundi will join us very shortly, in 2 minutes from now. I say very shortly, though. You got so stressed. Eagle got really stressed. Like, oh, my God, what's going on here? I'm just promoting the hey, she's going to be on with us in a couple minutes from now.
It's just like 2 minutes is not enough time for us to get through the Hall of Fame inductions. But if you stick with us, by the end of the hour, we will get to there. In the meantime, though, we do have the women's division. As we've been talking about.
But here's a good question, though. Who will be the first female Hall of Famer from a player perspective that I'll get into?
So
after that?
Sarah Parker versus Vanessa Berry.
How many seasons do they both have?
I think it's
Catherine Piché might be a good choice
Catherine
too.
Piché too. Constance Miller, who
Miller, yeah.
again we may be joining us. Marie-Lou Bellin is just Swiss Army knife. She's put some stats in every category. But I think it'll probably be one of the quarterbacks just because it's easier to put up noticeable numbers to quarterback position. Yeah. But if you had to choose one of the two quarterbacks, Sarah Parker or Vanessa Berry.
Berry.
That's your vote's going?
Berry's it's like RoboCop out there.
I mean, Eagles Sarah Parker beat your Vanessa Berry last week because she couldn't make converts.
That's all right, man.
So
that's all right. Talk to me in April. Oh, that's right.
So wait, I get to ignore you till April?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Eagle, what are your plans for Valentine's Day?
I'm actually going to Milo's. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's an annual tradition.
Nice.
Very expensive annual tradition.
That's okay. It's just money. You're not gonna be buried with it.
That is very true.
I'm gonna be buried with mine.
Good evening, Lemise. How you doing today?
Hey, not bad. You?
Very well. This is Moe Khan alongside with Peeze, Della, Reeze, and Eagle.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Lemise.
Lemise, well, of course, Lemise, who is a referee and a FPF flag football player extraordinaire as well. Lemise, I want to ask you this question. I know Eagle wanted me to send you some scripted questions, but it's a question I actually thought of on the way here.
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, you're a phenomenal athlete, and you show your religious outwear by wearing the hijab. Is that something that was full of angst when you first started playing sports, playing with a hijab, and trying to blend in and be able to adapt as seamlessly as it's been for you so far?
Well, good question. So I didn't have the hijab on originally when I first started playing sports. I've played sports all my life, and I've just started wearing the hijab about 3 years ago. And that was actually at the peak of my time at Vanier. So the first time I was playing at Vanier with Coach Tara. And also I played soccer at the time. So then it wasn't an issue because I did not have it on. But when I did put on the hijab, the only hesitation I had was what would happen, if I did play with the hijab on. And I found ways to go around it. So I knew that it wouldn't be an issue in the sports that I did play. You know, flag football is a new sport and a lot of inclusivity all around. So now it is being, inclusive to women. So I didn't think that would be an issue, and it hasn't been. Soccer too, same thing. I think the only annoying thing is playing with 1,000,001 layers and a headscarf in the summertime, which kind of sucks, but it gets hot. But other than that, it's been great. Yeah.
Well, luckily you have a very supportive and amazing coach in Coach Tara. She's been part of our community.
Yes.
She's been part of our community for a few years now. Was she the one who brought you into FPF as a referee?
Yes and no. Actually, it was one of my teammates who also plays for Coach T, Mathilde Kai. She's also a ref. She refs a lot less now, but anyways, yeah, she encouraged me to. And once I got to the FPF clinic, actually, a lot of my coaches were there. So Coach Tara is one of my coaches. Coach Jonathan Williams also is one of my coaches. Jason Bowman was my coach. Steve Hodhod was my coach in high school and also in college. So yeah.
This is the who's who of referees over here. Hodhod, Bowman. So hold on. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the spot now. Okay, those four names: Jay Bowman, Hodhod, Jonathan Williams, and Coach Tara. Rank 1 through 4,
nice,
best
awful.
to worst referees, please.
Best to worst, right? Well, I haven't worked with all of them as referees.
It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead. Rank 1 through 4, please. Personality-wise.
But isn't best referee an oxymoron?
Right? I mean, in your
You're
opinion,
saying
what a
to a
best
ref.
referee is, and in my opinion, what a best referee is, it could be two different things. So,
Well, so
I'm going to be looking at it from a referee point of view. You'll be looking at it from a player point of view.
Well, let's look at it from your perspective. Who was the best and who was the worst? So go with the worst first, and then go best last.
So, I mean, like I said, I haven't refed with all of them, but I know that they all know the rules in and out. They coach through them. So I'm going to say 1 through 4 is all of them.
So I think Steve
You're
Hodhod
not
is the
going to
worst
put me on
one.
the spot.
I think
Not
Steve
gonna
Hodhod.
Lemise, I actually had the pleasure to have you call my game. It was the first game actually you've called for me so far. I thought it was a good experience. It was a good game. How terrible was it to ref me?
That's a good way to put the question. No, I didn't have much work, honestly, to do with you. And you were a quarterback, from remembering. Yeah, you were a quarterback, and I'm the umpire, so didn't look much at you. I think you didn't yell at us or anything, so that's always great. Didn't object to any of our calls, also always great. So I would say that was not so bad.
That's true. So go ahead, Mo.
So I was going to say, looking ahead, we're halfway through the women's division, the inaugural women's division this year in FPF. We have 3 teams at 3-1 and 1 at 2-2. Amongst the 3 teams at 3-1, Fleur-de-Lys, Team Texas, and District. Who was the best out of those 3 teams?
Right, so I think it's going to be very tight. Like you guys were saying, I was listening on earlier. It's going to be really tight, but if you look at it, like, so the second place team, the first place team, the only people that they've lost to is the second place team, and even the third place team, the only people they've lost to is the second place teams. So, and actually the third place team, so District has actually beat Fleur-de-Lys, I believe.
Team Texas beat Fleur-de-Lys, and I believe District beat Team Texas.
Yeah, District beat Team Texas. Yeah, that's what it was. They beat Team Texas, not Fleur-de-Lys. So it's going to be very tight, I think. But I think overall, I'm going to take my guess at I think Team Texas is going to take it. I think so. They're going to rise up, and that'll, because like you guys were saying, that the difference maker will basically be between Team 1 and 2, and the only time they see each other, Team Texas won. So I think that'll be the difference maker.
No, that's not the right answer, Lemise. No, that's not the right answer. No. You made the Eagle very happy.
You can't ask for someone's opinion and then be like, no, that's wrong.
No,
that's what we do.
That's what we do in this show.
That's what we do.
We throw blow torches, fire torches at everybody with their answers here.
Throwing everybody under the bus.
Exactly. That's what we do. We go over their body like 10 times on top of that.
Lemise, I am ancient. I'm a very old person. And I've
wow,
been in FPF.
That's a good way to start a question.
Yeah. I try to make interviews as awkward as possible, because if I'm awkward, then it's okay if the subject also struggles. The thing, when I first started playing FPF, I never would have thought it would have got to the size it is now, and all these complementary divisions. I want to know, what is it like flag football didn't even exist as a concept necessarily when I was growing up. What is it that brought you to flag football, and talk to us a little bit about sort of like that journey as a female athlete.
Yeah, so going into, elementary school as a young kid, at my high school, I went to Laurel Hill Academy, and it was actually pretty popular because of a lot of teachers, and one of them being Stephen Hodhod. Mm-hmm. I think he was one of the people who first introduced it at Laurel Hill, and it was pretty popular with a couple of the English schools in GMAA. And since then, so basically, like, I would honestly play flag football just for fun, because it's like a sport that all athletes could play. So I was a soccer player, and I could run, I had cardio, stuff like that, and I was a goalie, so I could catch also. So it came in handy for flag football, and so I just liked it, did it as a side thing. And then as time went on, and as I got to Sec 4, Sec 5, and got more coached up, so got coached up by Stephen Hodhod and other people also. It starts to grow on you, like how complicated it gets and how like creative you can get. Actually, like makes you want to learn more and makes you want to do more. And once I got to the college level, I honestly fell in love. Like the hard work that you have to put in and the amount it pays off, it's just great. Yeah, and the coaches really make a difference. So like Coach Tara Marake, like she will make you love it even when you're hating it, honestly, and you'll be at your worst, and you'll still be like, all right, I'm glad I'm part of this team, and we're gonna push on. It's like a great team vibe, and that'll always makes people come back. It's something she always says. Yeah.
When you look at the female division so far, and you mentioned the top 3 teams, obviously there are teams who are not going to excel, such as the rookies or Spatiat. What's your word of advice from the sidelines watching these teams play? What can they do to improve their offensive output? The rookies have yet to score a point. We were talking about that before and trying to figure out ideas how to simplify it. So what would you give as your viewpoint from your experience playing flag football to help their offense?
Yeah, so I think at this point they've had 4 games, so I'd give them the advice of we'll see what hasn't worked and try and find something else to see if that would work. So just trial and error. The plays that haven't worked. If you guys aren't calling actual plays and just kind of inventing things in the huddle, maybe it's time to jot things down and start writing actual plays. If you have been writing actual plays and they haven't been working out offensively, try to figure it out. Maybe run the ball a little bit more. So if your QB is can't throw, but have other options other than throwing to score touchdowns. Options. And also a good thing to do would be watching the other teams, the teams in the number 1, 2, and 3 spot, just learning and seeing kind of things they do and see what to look forward to, what to try and achieve.
Before the season started, and admittedly, we didn't have a ton of knowledge about the women's division when it first started. We all picked the teams that we thought would make the finals, and of course, gambled on the results. The team I took was the Huntsic girls. They're standing outside those top 3, being Team Texas, Fleur de Lis, and District. What chances do I have of getting a free meal from Moe and Eagle?
I don't know. I think very little because it's very tight up there on those spots.
I swear I lose money every road show.
Carry on, Louise. I
Stop
apologize.
gambling.
Carry on, please, with your analogy, please. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. So it's just I think it's very unlikely.
One big difference between, I'll call it the men's adult division and the women's division, is the number of players on the field at the time. So in the women's league, it's 5-on-5. What does that do for the amount of space on the field? Does it basically make windows much larger? Are there different schemes that have to be kind of run? Like, is there more, I guess, call it a man coverage versus a zone coverage because there's so much turf to cover? So how does it actually change the way the game's played?
So actually, what they've been doing is, since it has been 5-on-5, the field is smaller. So it's not the entire half field. They actually put cones down and take, I think, a third of the field away.
Wow,
so it's actually smaller. Yeah. So, that's also something I didn't know, too. And I went to watch one of the games, and I spoke to Tara, and she told me that. And the reason being is because it's 5-on-5. So it's very equivalent to when it is 6-on-6. It's just they give you less turf to make it more equal and to make it more fair.
Do we know
because
why?
Then it would be a lot of. So it's simply because there's less players on the field. So if it were the actual size of the what we play with 6-on-6, there'll just be more, but it'd be 5 players, just so much more turf, so much more to cover, and I think it's not advantageous to have so much more turf.
Yeah.
For some teams. It could be advantageous, but I mean, just to make it more fair, cutting it down and it not being just a running game. So if there was so much more turf, you'd just hand the ball off. People could just, you'd have one fast girl just run through everybody and score touchdowns all day. When instead you'd shorten it up and make it fair.
And
so that the defense can make a play.
Eagle pointed out the reason why we changed it for the women's division was that it was to match sort of the competitions outside of FPF. So like the Quebec, what was it, Eagle?
I think the Canadian or the international tournaments are all playing 5-on-5.
The international tournaments are 5-on-5 in a smaller field.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have a lot of Team Quebec players, a lot of Team Canada players playing in FPF. So to make it equal, or so that if these players decide to go play and be part of Team Quebec or Team Canada, they aren't unaware of the rules and familiar with the way it is. Because when we do play in the fall with at CJEP level, it's a lot different. Bigger fields, obviously. Full field. But when they do play internationally, it's different rules, and it's the rules that we've been playing with in FPF.
Louise, last question for you. Do you believe? Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Whether it's Fleur de Lis, District, or Team Texas, do you believe that they can crush any of the Division 5, Division 4 teams in the FPF world?
Division 5, Division 4, yeah, I think so. I think, all 3 of them really. I think if you go into Division 3, 2, and 1, obviously that's a little pushing it. But Division 4, Division 5, I think they put up a really good fight.
So they would win. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I want to know. Perfect. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought so too.
Yeah.
All right, so
They'd be able to compete at that level, definitely, and it would be good games, and they would definitely have a chance at winning, yes.
there goes Peasy's chances of winning any more games. Then.
Mo, you would be the worst quarterback in this division. You'd be quarterback number 7 on the ranking.
Mo would be the worst quarterback in any division.
I'll be quarterback number 7 of 3. All right. Lemiz, when is your next game that you'll be officiating, or when can we see you next at the field so people can talk to you to give you the 411 on the women's division?
I officiate this weekend on Saturday, actually. Yes, Saturday. All day Saturday.
Lachine or Loyola? Brossard Lachine, I guess?
Hang on, I'll tell you in a second. I'm in Brossard, yeah.
Oh,
Brossard all day
very
from
well.
4 till 8, yeah.
That's a long shift. Well, I hope you have a good shift, and thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we didn't
Thank
scare you
you.
at all with our questions. This show gets,
No, not at all.
You have to understand, the show goes off the rails like every 30
Crazy,
seconds.
yeah.
So it's very hard to keep our focus sometimes. On
All
this.
right. All right.
All right, Lemiz, thank you so much for joining us. And enjoy your weekend. Stay warm. It's been very cold this weekend.
Yeah, thanks. You guys too.
Take care.
you.
All right.
Do you guys like the cinnamon Valentine's candy hearts?
No, I hate
No,
that.
not at
I hate
all.
that.
They were so it's also like staff appreciation week or something, and so they were wrapping a whole bunch of like packages of
So you got high from it?
no, it just the whole office just smelled overwhelmingly like cinnamon. I was not happy. It was unenjoyable. Unenjoyable.
But that interview was quite enjoyable.
Yes,
That
it
was.
was.
That
It
was.
What's the next division now?
We got co-ed.
Co-ed. Oh, look at
Any
that.
engagement from the FPF community tonight?
It's actually been quite quiet.
Weird,
today,
huh?
Believe it or not. Yeah, a little strange. No comments.
I think people are watching the NBA All-Star Weekend in Chicago.
No. Then again, the NBA All-Stars is probably the best
Yeah,
All-Stars
it's
to
because
watch.
that's when you get to see all the new shoes.
Yep, that's right. That's when they unveil the new kicks. It's the
What are
biggest-
those?
All right.
It's all, shoes that we can't afford.
Oh, no, we can. We choose not
Choose
to.
not to.
We're going to co-ed 1, co-ed 2. Games that caught our attention from co-ed 1, co-ed 2, PZ as he buys time for
No,
himself.
I'm good.
All right.
I actually prepared it ahead of time.
What games caught your attention for co-ed 1 and co-ed 2?
Party Mixed beat her down for what last week. This week they take an L to Power Rangers. So Party Mix is one of those teams that looks like they'll be in the mix, but never truly quite competitive as they sort of seem to be that next tier. Tam Villadeth just looked absolutely great. 234 yards. He just kept the ball moving at all times. And Marie-Lou Bellan, who we mentioned earlier, recipient of one of the touchdowns. And, all over the place on defense, 4 tackles. Like, she's just one of these players that's just all over the field. Really had an impact on this game. And the difference was just an extra interception by François Laurier. And that's what sealed the deal.
Look at Midtown against Speed Academy. I beg your pardon. It's called Speedtown.
Speedtown's a good name.
You know what? That might be the next name for PC's flag football team.
Nope, because I'm the quarterback of that team, and there's no speed.
Of course, that's why.
I think I'm the slowest player in FPF history.
I don't
no,
think
there's
that's a thing.
Simon Dagenet is probably slower.
No,
than
he's
you.
faster than
No,
me.
he's actually pretty fast.
He's fast. He's quicker than he seems because it'd be harder to be slower than he seems.
No, Dave Allen's probably slower than you.
No way. He's my granddad.
All right, anyway, Midtown winning 33-31. JC Morin Fenouf, strong game. And this is, like I said, we spoke about Midtown before, and I do like this team and how they're built. I think Speed Academy is still trying to figure themselves out. They've had an up and down season.
They only lost by 2 points, though.
I know, but that's what I'm trying. I think they're figuring themselves out now. They have a lot of talent themselves. Darryl Dorsley being one of the guys on that roster. But I look at the Midtown and their team built. Morin Fenouf didn't throw enough yards, but enough passing touchdowns to make a difference in this football game. And if he can continue to ascend, develop, I think
He
those
also only
numbers
had
will move up.
11 attempts. How does that even happen?
Can you go back to the box score, Eagle, if you don't mind, please?
Well, Vincent Morissette is that.
Yeah.
So he was going out and grabbing balls while Guillaume Bellan was getting the deep passes in this game.
But I think, I think Midtown has a good core to work with now. I think at this point in the year, they're 4-1, and they, I think, with Enchel and other few rosters who have university experience with the female aspect, I think they have an opportunity to really turn the co-ed 1 playoff format upside down with what they have. And I'm not going to
And Phil
discount
Ansel's
them.
not here in this game.
I know he wasn't there, but I'm
That's
saying in
one thing
general,
to-
right?
To mention, because we mentioned the game was close. That's one aspect as to why.
But that's the thing, though. I think this team has the ingredients to make a really good 5-course meal to go deep in the playoffs. And by the time we're at the 5th course meal, we're so full that they're champions.
I'm not buying you a 5-course meal at Dunn's, Mo. You're getting one plate.
I know.
One plate when you win that bet. But Eagles going to win it.
Can I get like the family size plate? It's still one.
Can you go on the Dunn's website and see what the price
The
points
most
are?
expensive thing is
Yes, please. Thank you.
done.
Other games that caught your
Smoke Meat
attention?
Sunday.
Is that actually a thing?
I don't know.
I'm not a big smoke meat guy, though.
I know.
Yeah, you like your stupid chicken salad or whatever you order.
Cajun chicken, by the way. Other games that caught your attention from Co-Ed 1 or even Co-Ed 2, Mr. Peasy?
Move on into co-ed 2. I noticed it's a match losing to Yin and Yang and sort of like the highlight matchup of the week. Internet.
Internet's slow right now.
Internet's slow and Eagle hasn't updated the
It's
the
coming.
screen.
There you go. It's a matching name.
Justin Weir just was more efficient than Alexis Labonte in passing. Daphne Boré had a big game for It's a Match, but it was in a losing effort, unfortunately. Matthew Peacock, 4 touchdowns. We know what Matthew Peacock can do. He can legit take over a game, and this is one such example.
Mo, you eat beef?
No, I actually cut out red meat for my diet.
Okay, because I was going to propose a 14-ounce AAA rib steak.
No, I'm not going to. If
I
I
don't
did,
know if I'm getting a rib steak at Dunn's.
No, but I wouldn't do that to Peasy or any.
And the next most
How much you
expensive
spend? How much is
thing-
that?
What?
How much is-
$26.
Really?
That's it?
Oh my God! Get yourself a 5-course meal. It's okay. Jesus.
The other option you have is
Why
the
don't? Why don't
Double
I-
D Combo Deluxe, which is 2 potato skins, 6 smoked meat egg rolls, 6 cheese sticks, and onion rings for $21.
So why? The question is why
Why don't we
don't
get that every year, X? That sounds
why?
good.
Why don't I take my wife to Dunn's? Is the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's yin and yang.
All right, back to I was thinking about food. We were being turned on by food, but right now we apologize for that. Other games that caught my attention from Co-Ed 2. We look at Jays. They get a big one over Tigers, winning 41-37, as Eagle will get that game up and at him for the viewers watching now at home. Big win for the Jays. I mean, this is a team that's kind of been sporadic at times here. But
They scored almost half of their points for the season in this one game.
that's what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, it's a pretty impressive output for them. And
That completion rate, though, for Hyman Long, that's really not standard for
So,
him.
but that's been the case all season, Eagle. Because
Yeah, I know.
I wrote an article a couple weeks ago, and it was about some observations I made, and I watched Jays play, and I realized a lot of what Hyman Long uses a lot of spacing concepts and timing concepts, and so he's not a guy who can be dropped into a team and find immediate success. And we see, for example, with GLC, over time he's improved with that core, and that team's gotten better and better and better. Mm-hmm. And it was really that, like he looked frustrated at times in the game that I saw. The team just, people weren't at the right spot, right time, right spacing, right around the yardage. It seems as though it's not going to be the typical Hyman Long. He's going to have to play a different kind of game, and it appears as though he's trying to do that anyway.
Are you more surprised that Cam Schmidt almost had 200 yards passing, or the fact that Long was 15-29 for 167?
I'm not surprised by either, and like I said, the Hyman Long thing, it's going to happen for the rest of the season, because it's going to take more than a season for everyone to be on the same page.
Other games, Eagles or Peasy, that caught your attention?
I just want to swipe on these and see if It's a Match is going to be a match.
All right, so
are we doing that?
For co-ed? Yeah.
No.
Okay, how about this?
I only date men, Eagle.
How about this? Pass or fail?
Okay. What? So that's just the record.
Yeah, pass or fail.
Okay.
Pass or fail. So there's no intimate innuendo or any sexual context in the pass or fail with Professor Peasy at the midterm point of the season.
I am an educator.
So all right, here we go. Third down for what?
Third down for what? They pass as expected. One of the top teams coming in, a team that's been to finals, won finals, Give me a third down for what? To pass.
Midtown.
Midtown pass. Very. I'm really liking them. They get an 8. I want to give them grades, Mo, like a report card.
But the midterm point, though, this is the final week 10. We say, all right, you get.
I know, but pass or fail is just gonna be related to whether or not they're in the playoffs.
They're all in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, so they all pass.
No, but you can look at it from a performance perspective, saying, well, no, they failed because they should have been better, or they
I
passed.
guess it's really clunky. All right, Midtown passed 167 points, scored 48 points. Point differential. It's very impressive.
Party mix.
Party mix. So they failed because they have a tie.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know how else to do this segment. I'm making it up as I go along.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers pass because they don't have a tie.
So everyone's passing right now, I assume.
What?
Everyone's passing.
No, not Speed Academy. They have a tie.
Michael Scott's tots.
Michael Scott's tots, they failed because they're allowing way too many points. It's going to be problematic.
So will their tuition payments? Heyo.
Yeah, I feel like so this amount of points is they're behind the tuition payments and the interest is adding up.
Sriracha hot chili sauce.
I mean, I love sriracha sauce. I'm just not loving them so far this season.
I would not eat sriracha sauce before writing an exam, so definitely failing.
Yeah, you know what? You're not making it through the exam.
300s.
300s are struggling. 300s is going to be 3 fail.
I think of hummus when I see their name, by the way.
I do like hummus.
I think of 3 women named Hannah.
By the way, Eagle, I don't want to go off topic. Speaking of hummus, remember...
And why don't you
Don't
pass
want
and
to
fail
go
these
off
teams?
topic. Wait. Examine the sentence. I don't want to go off topic speaking of hummus.
Well, I don't want to go too off topic here. Eagle, when we used to do it at the Laval studios,
Yeah.
what was the food you brought in one time?
You talking about Arush?
Yes, there you go.
How do you remember that?
Yeah, because I know exactly what you're talking about. You the Lamajuns.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to figure it out today.
They're so good.
I know. I just don't know how you remember the food you brought once.
No, you
4
brought it
years
multiple
ago.
times.
They're really good.
Brought it multiple times.
Yeah, I did.
You
All
did?
right.
I would eat I eat a box myself.
I don't doubt that.
They're
You have
so
terrible
good.
eating habits.
It's very true. But
Yeah.
I've only had a box of cookies tonight, so that's not
Oh,
bad.
that's progress.
Yeah, only one.
It's because the Oreos are too far.
My back is screwed up. I would throw you the Oreos right now, but I can't even move. That's why I'm
You
leaning back.
probably would have missed it
Yeah. All right.
if he intercepted. Actually, no. If Mo threw it to you, he'd miss, and if I threw it to you, it'd be intercepted.
All right. Athletic squad, 5-0.
At squad, pass because they're teacher's pet. They show up every week.
Yin and yang.
Yin and Yang, again, not surprised to see them up there. They have actually scored more points and allowed less points than Ath Squad.
Dream Crushers.
Dream Crushers also pass.
Kiss my end zone.
Kiss My End Zone, they passed, but by a finer margin. We're no longer in A+ territory, Mo.
Rhinos.
Rhinos fail.
It's a match.
It's a match failing so far, and I'm disappointed. I'm going to have a talk with It's a Match's parents. I'm not happy with this. I'm pretty sure they forged the parents' signature on the assignment I made them take home. Hands up, whoever actually did that once.
Jays.
Eagle, you never forged parents' signature for doing poorly on an assignment in grade
I
school?
did actually.
I did that too. I
Just
got
the
caught.
one time. I got in a lot of trouble, and I was like, I don't want to show this to my dad. So I
Yeah.
tried it, and my teacher knew right
Instantly,
away.
'cause you're a
sat me
child.
down and said, "What's wrong?" So,
Yeah.
So hold on, here you go. Like when you say you did bad, you got like what, an 89?
no, it was.
Wait, you
it
failed
was
gym
an,
class?
Oh no, I did excellent in school. It was a out of school action.
Wait, you did your Pokemon search? You left the school premises. That's what it was.
I accused a girl of blowing a guy in grade 6 publicly.
So you've shamed a woman girl for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harvey Wine Eagle over here.
You disgust me.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I got like a 6 on 10.
I didn't even know what it was.
I got a 6 on 10 or something, and then forged it. And then like my dad's raised his voice once in his life, and it wasn't even then. But he had this thing where he'd give you a look, and
Yeah,
you
the look
felt
was
like
enough.
trash.
Yeah.
So never again. It was not worth the look.
I got the
So
look.
who are
in.
you giving this look to?
I'm giving this look to
Jays?
Jays. You guys stop forging stuff. You got to get on page. I know Hyman Long gives you that look as well because you're not performing up to standards, and you're making them look bad. So, Jays, I'm looking at you.
Other teams there, La Secte.
La Secte, they failing. The point differential is awful. They got to win, but they might be the worst team in the division.
A-Town.
A-Town co-ed.
A-Town co-ed, yes.
A-Town co-ed. I expected more, to be honest. So, fail and bring your parents in.
Tigers.
Tires failing, and you just sit at the back of the class and try not to make any noise.
Quick clarification, because A-Town and District may notice they have a little caption in the bracket. This is because there is an A-Town team in the men's division and a District team in the men's division, and our algorithm is a little bit screwed up when there's matching names, so we have to...
It's a match.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 5A and 5B as we...
I thought we were going to get the Hall of Fame. Okay, we'll do the Hall of Fame after 5A.
Yeah, in 20 minutes we'll do the Hall of Fame. As we get to 5A and 5B, games that I saw over the week, that's why we were going to talk about Arouche. They played the Bruins, and that's why I thought of them, and I thought of Eagle on Sunday in Lachine. We should do it for next week. Do they have
I'll
vegetarian?
bring some. I will absolutely
Do
bring
they have
some.
vegetarian ones or no?
I'll try and make
They
it.
do.
Yeah,
They have, well, do you like cheese?
Yeah,
You like Zatar?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Maybe
better.
Zatar.
All right, that's the
I'll try and make it a
Actually, I'm not here next week.
I'll let you know.
Oh, they have spinach ones too. Spinach and
Yes,
cheese.
that's good. Unfortunately, I'm not here next week, though.
Well,
Peeze, are you going 2 weeks?
I don't know yet. I'm no longer going to Australia because I was landing in Beijing and we fear the Wuhan clan. So now it looks like we're going to Colombia because it's safe.
You mean the District of Columbia?
No, Columbia University.
Okay.
I'd rather go to Colombia than the District of Columbia, knowing what's going on over there now.
That's true. At this point, it is safer. It is safer.
So you're going to go Columbia then?
It appears as though I am, yeah.
All right. Very nice. That's very nice weather in that part of the
Yeah,
world.
yeah. I saw the weather. We're like, the worst because we're redoing our bathroom in the summer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, the responsible thing is now that we got the refund from the airline, maybe we'll just use that money in the bathroom. And then we got all that snow, and we're like, no, we're going to Colombia.
How long are you going to Columbia? 2 weeks?
A week.
A week.
A week and a bit.
That's a short trip, though.
I think I'm just missing a week, yeah.
That's a quick trip, though. I would
know.
go for like 10 days minimum.
I know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It
Okay.
depends when the money runs out.
Don't want to talk about your trip too much here because Arouche and Bruins, this was a fun game to watch. It's a one-game sample, but I think Arouche is starting to get their act together. This is a team that plays really good defense. They only allowed 11 points in the first half. Guys, has there ever been a game in one half where teams only scored 11 points?
Probably yes.
But they had 2 safeties, Bruins, and a touchdown. Like 11 points. So we've
11's
seen
tough.
8, we've seen 7. But the number 11, to get 11, that is a tough number to get. I mean, the combination to get to 11 is impossible unless you go...
Well, you need 5 points. So
Yeah.
2 EPs and or safeties or an extra
Exactly.
point, yeah.
But, like, full props, though. Simon Loisier, he is a really good shutdown cornerback in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Zach Zorin had a really good game. Zorin went off for 10 for 83, but this was a battle. This was a battle of dogs here. Who was the alpha amongst the two of them? And I loved watching them go head-to-head, and it was clean, good football. And I thought that the defense played very well for Arouche. And in the second half, Gab Wiseman, unfortunately, didn't see the field as he desired to. And if you look at his numbers, 38 passing attempts for a Gab Wiseman-led offense is out of the norm for him. He's more efficient, as we know, going 20 to 30 max. And in that game, he just didn't have his rhythm at all. And Arouche did very well.
I actually didn't catch any 5A games this week, but I did notice Rancers beat Glow Gang. Glow Gang missing Arnold Desjardins.
Did he play for them? I beg your pardon my ignorance, but I thought he was not going to play this year.
He's not playing. That's what I'm saying. The team doesn't look the same.
Okay,
without
sorry,
Arnold.
my bad. I thought you meant
Just to add something to what Mo was saying, Zach Zorin was targeted 15 of Wiseman's 38 attempts. So what exactly was your point when it comes down to Simon Lozier shutting him down?
Well, but
No,
he was
but-
targeted 15 times and only had 10 catches.
10 catches
but the
for
catches,
83 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, but the catches
Oh,
weren't
but
easy.
honestly, 8.3 yards a catch.
They weren't easy catches, man. These were not. These were
Well, good for
contested.
Zach then.
Well, Zach Zorin's a legitimate D2
this
talented
was
player,
a
right?
good. This was a good heavyweight fight. Like this, I came away really impressed with Loisier. Like he really took the challenge because Zach Zorin can make a lot of DBs look
Oh, yeah.
like fools, like real fools out there. And this was probably one of his tougher games he went up against.
Yeah, Zach Zorn can make defenders look like Louis Biget.
Yeah. Make him look like a liar. A liar.
So as you were saying before, Peeze, the game that you saw.
Again, I didn't see it. Just an observation because, again, I fortunately just there weren't any 5A games when I was at the field. Jeremy Ledoux looked good from what I can see here. And, like, so you see, anytime you see Phil Anchill on the roster, you imagine he's going to be the main guy. But Ricardo Del Rosier, just an embarrassment of riches on Renters. And they're not even a team we've talked about a ton.
But they've had an up and down season this year.
Yeah, but they're a team I think that'll get better throughout the season. And then on the other side, again, like Glow Gang, they still have all their studs on defense. Oliver Suri, Sifax Kassed, team that's really well built, but they're just, man, you don't lose a quarterback to caliber of Arnold Desjardins and recover instantly.
Yeah,
right?
they're not going to go far with their quarterback. Like, if you go to their team page, Eagle, if you don't mind, for Glow Gang, and see who their quarterback or quarterbacks are in the passing department, if you don't mind, Eagle, they are going to have some issues because they've had Gougion and they had Francois Laram being a quarterback, but it's not the same. You're right, Peeze. I don't see this team going as far. If they had Arnaud Desjardins, this would be one of my heavier favorites.
I remember seeing him in like Division E or Division 6, and I was like, this guy does not belong in this division.
No, of course not.
Like, he looked like a Division 3 quarterback instantly in FPF, you know what I mean?
Glow Gang is going to have to win games on their defense and basically putting up 3-4 scores a game.
And, well, but the thing
But
is,
they can do it.
Their defense has shown that they can do it, but you know my thing. In playoffs, you're going to need to score five touchdowns at some point, and I don't know if they have that in them. They've done that. They've actually done that twice, to be honest, this season. So maybe, but it's not what we expected when we saw Glow Gang register for the division.
No, MTL Loud. I didn't see this game, but they continue to roll. Xavier Tremblay, 7 TDs.
He's having a stupid season.
Yeah, he might be.
Quarterback of the year, penciled in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would he be the early favorite at the midway point of the quarterback of the year?
Like again, I'm waiting for the internet. But if Eagle can bring up his stat page,
for MTL Loud, it's Xavier Tremblay, who's had almost threw for 300 yards at 271, 7 TDs.
Yo, Eagle, check this out. 68% completion percentage, 1,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Okay, so you think?
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
So here's a question for you: do you think?
A jerk for being so talented.
Media, what are you guys doing?
So here's.
Oh, we've been talking about him. To be fair,
we did talk about him though.
it's the third week we mentioned.
Yeah.
him.
So here's the thing about this number here, and knock on wood. Over under 2.5 INTs that he will have by the end of the season.
Under.
Peasy.
He's
Sorry,
gonna throw
Eagle.
one.
How many?
2.5. 2.5.
I have to say over. You're going to make a few mistakes. Like, you have to.
Unless he's just far too good for this division.
Wait, hold on. Let me sort this.
His
They
QB rating is
are-
135 on the season.
They have the third hardest schedule, and he's
Yeah.
800 with no picks. Oof.
Okay, look at the schedule
Might
left.
be under. That might be
All right,
under.
let's look at the remaining schedule here for him.
They got Longhorns, that's a win.
So-
SCL, SU Mud Dogs, that's a win.
But
Balls Deep,
I'm
that's a
talking about
win.
teams that have a chance to pick him off.
I say maybe Spartans,
Yeah, because of their athleticism.
and then mistakes would be like Longhorns disguising coverage, and it just so happens. Like I don't see him or a defender making a play to get an INT. It's more him misreading, or the ball comes out weird, or tipped or something.
His lowest quarterback rating of the season was his first ever game in FPF against the U, where he had a quarterback rating of 118.4. That's his lowest quarterback rating ever in FPF. And Eagle, his next lowest one is 132.7.
So this is the next great one.
Yeah. He's playing in the wrong division. Straight up.
Well, he's going to move it up in the division. That's for sure. All right, let's dive into
That cap hit's going up.
That is going way up, big boy. You want to throw?
No cap restrictions on increasing a rookie, eh?
No, exactly. All right, guys, going to 5A. Swipe right, swipe
5B,
left.
no? We didn't do any 5B.
Well, did we recap 5B already or no?
We just did 5A.
We didn't.
Oh, I
recap
beg your
5B.
pardon. I'm so sorry. I've lost track. I
It's
thought.
okay.
Did you recap 5B game? I thought you did. No.
No, I even said I didn't even see a 5A game, unfortunately.
Oh, right. My bad. I beg your pardon on that.
I did. Oh, sorry, the wrong week.
I did actually. Did I see any? No, I did not see any 5B games this week. They were nowhere near Haber this week. I was unfortunate.
We were a field over from you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not see any
but
5Bs.
We got 2 shutouts this week. Tutson Parley over Goats, 33-0. Los Bandidos over Green Monster, 20-0.
I was there for YSL.
Brewers lost 2, 26-0. Southeast Beats. Sorry, a lot of zeros on the board.
Yeah. I saw YSL A-Town. YSL's incredibly athletic. A-Town got a little frustrated by the end of the game. Jonathan Perez running down the sideline had lost his flag and took a hit from its number 5 Eagle.
For A-Town?
For A-Town. Gabriel Billet legit made no effort to just touch him, no effort to even literally put his shoulder in him right away. And after the game, Perez was hurt, and then Perez was hurt for his next game also, where he's also playing quarterback. Also, when I walked in, I started putting my bag down, started tying my shoes, putting on my sneakers, tying my shoes, and I heard a loud thud, and it was Noah Groper running into one of those those heater vents.
Oh no!
But it's padded, thankfully, and he was fine. But
still,
it did not sound fun. It did not sound fun. Justin Frankel having a huge impact. He always does. He makes the life difficult on passers. He actually called me out last week for not mentioning that he had a pick as a rusher last week. Not the first time we've seen it, but it doesn't happen entirely often. But yeah, it was a game that it looked close and it just was a little sloppy, but YSL kind of controlled it the entire time, regardless of the score.
Leftovers crushing Chocolate Barracudas 44-18. That really caught my attention. That was played Saturday in Lachine. I know we spoke about Barracudas, about their hopeful ascension of where they can be now compared to where they once were. And this wasn't a good game for Sonny Les, but Joseph Chichire, looking at their leftovers team. This is a team I believe now. I think it's 4-1 Eagle, if I stand correct on that.
For leftovers?
Yeah, leftovers. I think they're up there now in the division rankings. But this is a team we've not spoken about. They've flown under the radar, and they've done very well for themselves this season.
And Joseph and Emilio Chichire, formerly of Kingdom, they're not unfamiliar to us in FPF. They're very, very good players. So
and
hard schedule too, 4th hardest.
Well, what's the schedule? What's the win-loss record for them now, Eagle? I'm trying to remember. Is it
4-1?
4-1. That's what I thought. Yeah, but no one's talked about this team. We have not spoken about them yet, and now they're 4-1 at the halfway point of the year.
Yeah, we're starting to take notice,
and we might have to put them in a position that we might have to swipe right on them, Peeze, about us liking them as a duo.
Maybe.
So
we're doing that
10
now?
for 11 with 5 TDs.
What?
How do you go 10 for 11, 5 TDs?
Well,
what is
simple.
that?
You throw the ball, they catch for a touchdown.
Yeah. Half of the time. Half of the time it works every time.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like they throw it, catch it, they run, they score.
I know that's a foreign concept to you, Mo, but
So we swiping?
We swipe right on them.
Which one are we doing?
All right, let's go 5A. 5A quickly here because we have very little time because we have to get to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Geez,
Hall
running
of
out of time.
Fame. Yeah, we're running out of time here. So we got to go speed dating here, okay? This is going to be
Speed dating.
So you don't have to even mention the reason why you have swipe left, swipe right. All right, here we go. Scroll down, Eagle. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing rolling here. All right, part of my swag.
As much as I would never date a guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt, I think I got to hear part of my swag looking good. Although they've been the best regular season team forever, and it tends to fall apart. But I'm gonna believe in part of my swag.
MTL out.
I mean, we gave all the reasons why we're in love so far. MTL loud, double swipe right if I could.
Super like for me. The U.
I've swiped left on them so often that now I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna swipe right and hope for a reciprocal answer.
Wild Wings, Buffalo.
Swiping left. Not a believer. Don't believe it just yet.
Balls deep.
Balls deep. I'm gonna swipe left as well. I just the team is not playing well enough on a consistent basis.
Ice up.
I'm going to swipe right. I think it's a good team, and I think it's going to get better. The roster's ridiculous. The cream will rise to the top.
Bud Knights.
Swipe left. Matthew Kiljan still taking too many chances deep for no reason. Defense isn't stopping anyone. The record's better than I thought it would be, to their credit. But I'm not looking for a mediocre date.
Tip-top shape.
I don't get it. I don't understand what's happened here. I thought they'd be a lot better. I'm going to swipe left.
One reason, Terry Tam. Voodoo.
I'm going to swipe right because I like Frank K and the offense is great. But, Jesus, 167 points allowed in 5 games.
That's about like 32.5 points per game.
It's a team that could get hot end of season, and I like it, so I'm going to swipe right. Voodoo and Spartans, both swipe rights, are both going to make the playoffs. Mark my words.
All right. I'll now condense these. Big Baller Brand, Longhorns, Mud Dogs, and Old School.
Longhorns is too old for me. It's just not my type. I'm going to side with SCLSU Mud Dogs. What's your drunk dial?
I think it's going to be Big Baller Brand.
All right.
All right. Conference B, GLC.
This is the opposite of what we said about Hyman Long and co-ed. GLC now fits with exactly what Hyman Long wants to do at all times. It's like a hive mind, and nothing spells great date like hive mind.
Glow Gang.
I'm swiping left. I don't believe in them without Arnaud Desjardins.
Brotherhood Light.
I'm gonna swipe right just because the team's super talented as always, well built. The Majid brothers know how to build good teams. There's no exception.
And they've been very good at building teams. Unknown Talent.
Yeah. Swipe right. That quarterback's one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Bruins.
I'm gonna swipe right. Gab Wiseman, I think, is good enough, and the team around him is built for success.
Les Voyous.
I'm gonna swipe right again because I just believe in the talent. I don't understand. It's one of these immensely athletic teams that just can't play defense, but you can score. So give me Les Voyous.
Rancers.
The record makes no sense to me. You have Ricardo De Rosier and Felanchil. Jeremy Ledoux, man, simplify. Get your studs the ball and let them make plays for you. Give me Rancers.
Arouche.
I'm going to swipe left, Mo. For all the talk about how the quarterback was going to dominate the division, it's, again, FPF shows you you can't come in here and dominate right away. It doesn't matter what your tackle accolades are. I'm going to swipe left. Arouche may not even make the playoffs.
Okay, we're going to condense these. Tigers, Ducks and Cover, Tough Lungs, K-Squad.
Got to go Tough Lungs. Justin Lerner is the best player on these 4 teams. Maybe not. Fighting Tigers has some talent.
Ducks
but
and Cover is pretty good too. It's just
Ducks and Cover, the problem is when they play fast teams, they don't have the speed. And they're no longer Division 6 where they get away with that. Give me Tough Lungs. You? Who's your drunk dial?
Tough Lungs.
All right. 5B.
Tough Lungs. That's what I think. All right, here we go. We got 3 minutes before we get to the Hall of Fame, so let's speed through this so we get to the Hall of Fame. All right, Eagle, let's get to the division display, please.
Yes, I know. It's coming.
I know, but why is it slow, Eagle? What's going on here?
I actually don't know.
Eagle.
Shut up.
Oh, Eagle's getting irritated.
Jesus.
Eagle. Okay, here we go. Can we go to the playoff standings? There you go. That's much better. Okay, Holy Trollers.
I said it before the season. Holy Trollers are a team full of cheaters. They know they're better than the division, and they registered in it anyway because Kevin Kusai is a coward.
Southside Speedster.
The name is no joke. They are fast. They have speed all over the field. Ben Reed's improving constantly. Going to swipe right.
They also have a very hard schedule, and they're doing really well.
Yeah.
New Wave.
I like Jared Gallant. He's very tall. Not fully formed. The team is not fully formed yet. They're very young. Jenny Johnson's a very good rusher. I'm going to swipe right.
Tuts and Parlays.
I'm going to swipe right. I don't know what to make of the team yet, but it'd be a fun date. Just because they're a solid team, but they don't look great every week. When they're great, they're awesome, and then there's other weeks they look like a completely different team.
Anyone with a Lazara looks like a fun time.
Yep.
YSL.
YSL has some of the best athletes in the division, and they're built well up the middle. Good snapper, good rusher, good quarterback. I like YSL a lot.
Threat Level Midnight.
I'm not sold. I'm gonna swipe left. JD Jolly is tall, and you can't teach that. That's the only thing he's got is his height and his good looks.
JD Tolley. All right. Does he look like Jimmy Garoppolo?
Sorry?
JD Jolly. Does he look like Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, he's not that handsome.
Can you get his headshot for us?
I see what you mean, but no.
Get his headshot for us, please. if you don't mind.
Garoppolo? Sure.
No, Jolie first, and then Garoppolo second.
No.
I mean, I could kind of see it.
All right, well, Eagle gets that up. Whack Attack.
So I played Whack Attack last night. I was really surprised. They made the switch to Georges Jean-Louis, which allows him to also use Ali Nadeau as a receiver. Team is better than I thought, but I'm going to swipe left until I see it more consistently.
Warriors.
Eagle, while you're doing that, also give me how difficult a schedule the Warriors have had.
Warriors have the easiest schedule at
Gonna
428.
say, going to swipe left until I see them play some teams.
Hot Sauce Sports.
Well, you guys, I'm always going to swipe right on myself because I do it almost every night.
I'll swipe right because I love uniforms.
Eagle.
Yeah, I can see it.
So you're swiping right or left?
On Hot Sauce Sports?
Yeah.
I'm swiping right because the mental game is there. Just the execution falls flat sometimes.
True.
Bleep. There is a little bit of similarities with Garoppolo and Jolie.
I mean, I can see what you're saying. The smile is there. It's the same smile.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really creepy. And they both kind of have the ass chin.
Yeah, they do.
Eagle, that superimposition you're going to try was never going to work. Yo, JD, you got a big head, bro. You got to.
Yeah, but remember
You
the
gotta
headshot.
see a doctor, man.
The headshot also is very unique.
Wait for it. You ready?
There you go. Attaboy.
JD Jalopolo.
All right, lockdown.
I'm sorry, Eagle. I gotta sell. The rec-
Super like.
I gotta swipe left just because like they have one of the most talented quarterbacks in Gianfranco Ronaldo. The team just doesn't have the talent to compete across with some of the better teams in the division.
All right, let's condense them. A-Town Brewers, Mean Girls, and Goats.
I like Mean Girls. I don't know if they're gonna improve quick enough, but they're a good team. Lots of young, talented players.
And the team that I picked that you would drunk dial, I'd say A-Town.
Because?
I think you like them a lot.
Okay, but you have to drunk dial them all.
A good, fun group of guys to party with.
All right.
All right, Bandidos, Los Bandidos.
Los Bandidos, super double right swipe.
Honey Martin,
Throw my phone in the garbage because they're false kings.
leftovers.
Right?
Los Bandidos and Honey Martin both have a schedule of 500 right now. So
Yeah,
very,
but Los
very
Bandidos are
middle of the
actually
pack
good
right now.
But yeah, but see, Los Bandidos are dominating that schedule where Honey Martin are like, okay, we're fine.
All
False
right.
kings.
Leftovers.
I'm swiping right on leftovers. I like the Treachery Brothers. I have a history playing against them. I like them a lot.
All right, we look at Air Force One.
Swipe right. I don't understand what's happening on defense. This team is far too talented, and having Alex David on the team gives you enough knowledge to improve throughout the season. But just get there, guys.
Green Monster 2.0.
Green Monster 2.0, you got to score more. It's always the same story with you guys. Figure it out. Blackouts, I am going to swipe right, but I don't like it. It's probably going to be a disappointing date. I feel like I'm getting catfished.
Johnny Fireball.
I'm swiping left, but I'm thinking about right. You know what it is? I keep wanting to like them, and every time I do, they let me down. Every time.
Clinkers.
Swiping right, but don't like it. The defense is kind of bailing out Marc-Andre Desaulniers now and again. He's also missed the game, so the record's not entirely doesn't exactly showcase their talent either.
Broke Boys.
I like Broke Boys. I'm going to swipe right. I think they're going to turn around by the end of the season.
Griffins.
Swipe left. Don't see it. To allowing too many points.
Chalk Barracudas.
Chocolate Barracudas. I like the improvements they made in a short period of time, but this past week showed what kind of team they are. They're not going to compete against the more organized, more athletic teams.
Don't tell that to Chris Williams. All right, grouping the Thundercats, Team YS, and Les Hommes de l'Ouest.
I'm drunk dialing Team YS because I found their number on a bathroom stall for a fun time.
All right.
Mo?
I guess now it's the time to reveal the.
And hour 3.
Short, though.
Hour number 3.
We'll do next hour.
Yeah.
Hour
Apologies to Matt Damon. To Jimmy Kimmel joke.
What do we have lined up for hour 3? Hall of Fame inductions?
We have Division 1, Division 2, 35 plus. We'll check in with the scorekeepers.
Beyond
We'll
the North Korea, yes.
Yeah, we'll call Simon Dagenet to see who the Hall of Fame inductees actually are. We'll cover Division 4, and we'll have the one, the only, the Kermit, Doug McKernan. Will be joining us for an
Doug
interview.
McKernan.
All right. McKernan Doug's going to come on with us. Hour number 3 coming up here. My back is destroyed.
Yeah, me too. I'm not doing well. I'm not doing
We're
well.
going to have to really truck through. Can we make this like a 40-minute segment?
No.
Oh no, we gotta get the Hall of Fame, man.
That's why. Hall of Fame will take off the last 20 minutes. We'll have them.
I'm speaking really slow. We'll just call Simo and leave.
Yeah, we'll leave. Simon, you go take over for the last 20 minutes. Coming up next, hour 3.
Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now feel a little major. Blink of an eye, ego, I'm a taker, shaker.
It's fun when you have countdowns and timers, but y'all aren't actually sitting down when the countdown and timer hit 0. But that's okay.
Hey, I've put in my request to have a more comfortable seat.
Yeah, my back's
I
going
wanted
bad.
a replica of the Game of Thrones throne, but with immense padding.
Yeah, my back is not doing well right now. The weather does not help. Let's put it
That's
that way.
not. That's
Blame
why.
the weather? Really, Mo? Really?
Yeah, man, we're not getting younger, man.
How does the weather have to do anything with that?
When it's colder, especially when you, this is a fact, for older people in this climate of ours, this is the worst weather for them.
It's true. This guy.
Muscles get stiff. These can't, like my dad being who he is, being an older person, it's the worst weather for him. He's better than dry heat. They say
No-
the best weather is dry heat.
No wonder you threw 8 interceptions last week. I understand now.
2 weeks ago. You're so old news.
Fake news.
Division 4, I
Fake
went
news.
5-0 this week. Five touchdowns, no interceptions.
Fake news.
That's,
Division we're about to talk about.
That's pretty impressive.
Just saying.
Okay, welcome back. It is hour number 3 of 3, and we will have the Hall of Fame announcements. Simon Dagenet.
Any minute now.
Yeah, Simon Dagenet, Eagle take over for the last 20 minutes as Peeze and I jet out before traffic hits at 11 o'clock tonight.
Me and Mo have
It's all the snow removal.
Well, they are still in snow rule, no, in this part of town?
Yeah, a little bit.
And we're getting more snow this week, no?
are.
Maybe.
You can take the weather for us this week?
You know where they get great snow removal? Phil Cutler's district.
Westmount.
Yes.
But they didn't get that on Wednesday night as they lose rather badly to the Verchefort 33-14. By the way, Zachary Kiwije says hello, and his father says hello to you, PZ.
Hi, Kiverges.
Yeah, I saw his dad at the Laurent Duvernay thing at Fête de Neige.
Mm-hmm.
But Zachary Kiwije, great game, 21-27 for 198. This game was over after the first half. It felt like LVF was just toying with them. That defense is fun to watch. You look at Vince Morissette, who had 3 PDs, 1 INT. QJ himself had a 1 INT thing. But the reality is that I think this might be a weight class too heavy for Mr. Dylan Garber and where he's at as a quarterback in this league, because he did not have a good game. 5 yards per completion, and it just felt like he was seeing like 5 LVF rushers coming at him in this matchup in which they were easily outclassed, even though Kwesi Gordon-Mull had a pick 6.
They were probably a good team. They've been at the top of the standings the entire season. It's not surprising. And on top of having Vincent Morissette, Raf Casey, Sean Afrotzen, that's just dirty. That's just a really, really, really stacked receiving squad. And like the worst part is that theoretically Dylan Garber has the same. And Kwesi, Jonathan Garfinkel, Phil Cutler. But like you said, just deer in the headlights in this game, unfortunately.
I don't know if this is the right division for him though.
Yeah.
I know the rating of the entire team probably pushes them up to this level, but I think he's.
Oh, what's his quarterback rating? What's his cap hit as a quarterback?
Keith Rashid?
No,
Dylan Garber. You can go in the roster. Right?
Just hit roster, man.
Yeah, Eagle.
No. There you go.
So yeah, he can't throw in anywhere lower than Division.
And that's just, it's
tough.
caught
It's,
in the in the filter.
He'll improve.
Yeah, and he'll learn. I mean, he hasn't played in a couple of years, but like those numbers cannot fly in 4A.
Yeah.
12 INTs off of.
It's also the fact that the team played in 4A. He didn't get to go up to because he was in Division 5 where he did very well, and then the team went up basically 2 divisions.
It's tough. It's tough for a quarterback to adapt. But I mean, look, he's gonna have to do until further notice. Other games that caught your attention in 4A, Mr. Peeze.
I walked in on the end of Mad Bears and Prince de la Rive Sud, and
my
God, Mad Bears complain. Jesus, just play, man. Like, again, you can't. We said this about Sebastian Thibault in Malud. Like, at some point, it's not everybody else. It's not every ref. It's not every other team. Like, they just play the game. And it seemed, again, I got there just as it was ending, so it did seem to be somewhat contentious, but it seemed like a game that was close throughout, and they just couldn't close it out.
Well, look, I'll be honest, and this might offend the masses here, but Seb Thibault's soft. He's soft.
And I don't know. I don't know him well enough to make that
soft.
judgment.
But I've score capped a few of his games. And he came up to me, and he came up to me on my field. I just told him, I go, dude, I'm not talking to you, man. I don't know what happened in your game. Don't ask me. But, dude, you're right, Peeze. He's got to – this Mad Bear team has good talent.
Yeah, just focus.
Focus
and
play
play.
your game, man.
They take themselves out of the game by constantly complaining and asking for calls. And just play. Just play. You have enough talent. They should have won that game. They were the more talented team on the field.
Is it like a team chemistry, like an issue for the whole team, or they're just certain players?
It's like a stack. It's like a stack of cards, right? You take out one card, it collapses the whole thing.
But who's the rotten apple that you would bench if you were the coach?
But there's no one. They have a good team, but they just act stupid.
It doesn't seem like there's even a bad dude. It just they're whining, Like,
yeah.
Like I've played games where literally not against them per se, but I've played games where against other team where I've literally asked them like, do you want the ref to call a penalty on every play? Does that seem enjoyable to you? Does that seem like a game you want to be in? Like, I don't know.
They're a good team. They just shut up and play.
So you're saying we should take the advice of Arnold?
Stop whining.
That's right. I also saw the Don't Miss with Texas Les Centaures game. Jordan Rossi looked pretty good throughout, just unable to get through it. Don't Mess with Texas has improved immensely. We said before, biggest issue with Fred Millette is he looked to be predictable. He's using his feet more, not to run, but to create windows. Like, he did run for 2 touchdowns this game, but more impressively for me is that he moves to create different throwing windows for himself, and he's recognized that he has that ability to buy time, and again, just change the window and make it a little bit more difficult for the defense to defend the pass. Raph Ducat de la Palme, we know he's a stud, and that's the kind of performance you expect. But yeah, like you can see the Centaurs were somewhat frustrated in this game, but you know what? Like, they were somewhat outplayed. They were somewhat outplayed from what I saw, especially sort of end of first half and into the second half. They just could never catch up.
All right, 4B, Le Gros Coq against freshman, 45-18. Dom Lefort, let me tell you one thing. This kid is exciting. He's short in stature, but this guy balls like he's 6'8" out there. I've
played against them 3 times from last fall, like from fall season till now. I hate playing against Le Gros Coq.
He's a baller,
it's
man.
So frustrating.
And let me tell you one thing. There was a scenario in the game, second half. He literally made the pass rusher break it. He broke the pass rusher's ankles not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he broke the DB's ankles, who was 30 yards away from him in coverage. I was like, what is going on here? Terry Tom's like, this guy is a real deal. I go, dude, this guy's killing him without even trying his best. And he literally could have thrown for 300 yards. He had a couple of drop balls and some 40 bombs he threw. But Le Gros Coq really impressed me yesterday. I know freshmen are not a desirable competition of toughness, but LGC look like a really good team to watch, and they're fun. Fun group of guys.
They are. On a personal level, the rusher whose name escapes me, if you guys can give me a hand.
I'll tell you his name. He, by the way, you have to get that fixed, Eagle. That glitch in the system on an INT that's deflected by someone else.
Okay.
I've asked this, and he did this. And he asked me, I go,
Did you fill in a bug report?
I told Mr. Joe.
So that's a no.
I told Mr. Joe. Thomas
You have to follow the process, Mo. The process. Trust the process.
So I believe it's Thomas LeMay.
Yeah,
if I got your name wrong, dude, I apologize. But that dude is not tall, and he's always in my face. I don't understand.
Covers a lot of ground.
Yo, leave Peeze alone, man. Come on.
And like the worst is, like, so he has one PD on the season. He deflected 4 of my passes when I played against him this season. So,
well, he should have PD in this game because he had a deflection that led to an interception, and that should have been counted. But
one of the ones was exactly that too. He literally, our game turned when we had played him on a pass that would have been a touchdown, but he deflected it, and it was an interception instead. And I guess it wasn't recorded for the bug.
No,
that you're
because
describing.
our bug doesn't recognize that. A game that I saw was the Sheriff against Villeray Goons. Not even close. Sheriff looking like they were running the town over Villeray Goons. A bit disappointed, though, because I look at Sheriff and this team that they've built. Louis Bégin, relatively easy day because he had
Liar Bégin.
Well, look, he had half field to work with because they punted the ball or turned over the ball in their own end, so he didn't have to do too much work in this matchup here. But Demetrios Sinodinos, McGill quarterback, just didn't find his footing right away, and they fell into a deep hole, down 2 scores in the first 10 minutes of the game, and never recovered in time. And the best was Dan Lazaro, who was playing this football game for Villeray Goons. Their pass rusher, who was Kishan Patel, who had a good game rushing Bégin, was literally going like a hound dog after Bégin, left and right on one play, like one way the other way the other play. All he sees is Lazaro cheering him on the football field, walking. Yeah, go ahead, Keish. I'm like, bro, you should go help him out, man. You're just walking around as the Bégin's doing circles over your rusher. But that's the highlight for Villeray Goons over the Sheriff.
Yeah, but you realize that if Dan Lazaro were to leave coverage, it would leave an open receiver.
Yeah, Bégin was just running around, though.
But eventually, if he sees someone else
He ran. That's it. Like, after not seeing anything, he just ran for like 5 yards. I started laughing. I go, Lazaro should have helped out.
Yeah.
Games that caught your attention there, Eagle? Or Peeze?
You keep asking Eagle.
I know.
Show Me Your TDs beat Finessers. These are 2 of my favorite teams in the division. So always fun when they go up against each other. Mike Adonna missed the game. They did not win. Mike Adonna returns, and they win. He just was nearly perfect in this game other than the interception.
Can we go back to something you said before? Mm-hmm. When Mike Adonna's not there, they don't win games, and when he's there, they win.
Yeah.
Can you explain why?
He's the starting quarterback of the team.
That would be a good reason.
Yeah. So Kevin Lubin replaced him, and it just wasn't the same. So one of the things that happens is you remove him as a receiver. He can't throw to himself, and on top of that,
can you?
The team's not built for him. The team is built for Mike Adonna. On the other side, it's what you expect. This time, it's almost like they take turns. Is it Nirosh's week or is it Bakalani's week? This week it was the Mapinguara. He had a great game, but it was a losing effort. And Ryan Kroof, other than those 2 touchdowns to Bakalani, unable to do much else.
Quickly here, Ballers taking out the takeover, 24-20.
Yeah, I was talking to Will Power during our game, and he was like, "Yeah, we were awful. We played terrible." Credit to Ballers, but they don't get that win. I don't think if Takeover playing their best football. But hey, you know what? They showed up and Takeover did not.
This could be a good humbling loss for them, though. Takeover. I think it kind of relieves the stress on them. If you get my point, right? Because they've had a really easy start to the season. And what's been their biggest knock, right? The most important games they always lose at the weirdest times possible. So this might be a loss that's good to get out of their system. And look, they're halfway through the schedule now, and this is where you got to put together for Neighbor and this roster. We believe this is a team that should go very deep in the playoffs this year, Peeze.
Mm-hmm.
And I firmly believe that if they can put it together and get over that mental hump of losing in the conference final or losing the semifinal, if they can overcome that, I think they have a really good chance to win this year.
I agree. I think this is the year for them. Like at some point they're gonna have to move up a division, and they're gonna have to win now.
Hello.
Kernan Doug.
What's going on?
What's going on? How you been, Doug?
Good, good.
Did I wake you up?
No, not at all.
Doug McKernan, if you had one word to describe Brent Calendar, what's the word you would use?
Fiery.
Oh, sorry, what?
Refinery?
Fiery.
Fiery.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did fire him once, so
That is better than my
He's
word.
like a firecracker.
Washed.
Washed. Very
Oh,
good.
hold on. I didn't say he was good. He's fiery.
I will say he's the only dude I know who got better as he gained weight. Never understood that.
Oh, yeah. No, Brent, no one plays harder than Brent.
That's true. I played
He
with
gets
him
hurt
before.
every game.
He really does. He really does.
I'm telling you, him and Sammy Begg keep Tiger Bomb in business. Like, it's not even funny.
Well, we'll thank them for Tiger Bomb being in existence. Yes, Eagle.
Doug, we were just talking about TakeOver and the fact that they lost this week in 4B. Have you played against them in the past, like the whole Willpower, Vincent Benjamin, Ian crew?
I played Ian like years ago. I think he was with like some of the Briscoe Highhawks, I think, back in the day.
Okay.
I think he played with
Yeah, they had a team back in the day, yes.
what was Vince Mancini and was it Vince? Which is the Mancini who worked for FPF for a little bit there?
We had a Mancini? Vince Nardone?
It was pre-peace, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
know
he
that
played
is.
on Briscoe. He played with Briscoe Highhawks.
JP Mancini.
JP
JP Mancini.
Yeah, exactly. He played with I think they had like Average Joes or something too.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
played him a few times.
Right.
He's a good quarterback, but I mean he's a timing type of guy. So I mean
By the
he's
way,
one of
sorry,
those guys you can get to.
If you're wondering, Eagle, why I'm glaring at you angrily, is that Doug's here and he plays in 4A, and you asked him about a team in 4B.
Yeah.
He's very
I know
knowledgeable, and he knows
I know
team.
everyone.
Doesn't matter. I'm
By the
staring
way,
at him angrily, Doug.
Eagle, if you don't mind, can you go to the 4A webpage, please? If you don't mind, the main page.
So
Sure.
Doug, right now, on the other conference, there's 3 undefeated teams in the infantry: Les Verts Folles, Banner Brothers. When the smoke clears, who do you think will be the top seed heading into the playoffs?
I definitely think it's going to be either Infantry or Bandit Brothers, but I'm probably leaning Infantry. We scrimmaged them before the season started, and they got a lot of size, man. It causes a lot of problems in throwing windows. Like their red zone defense, those guys are huge.
Yeah, absolutely. They have one of the best defenses for sure in the division. What was it that I saw earlier? I saw there's a ton of interceptions. Royce Martin at 7, Dylan Daou has 6 interceptions, Sean Summerton at 3 interceptions. That's impressive. And on top of that, Sean Summerton 6 sacks as well. So like it's a guy. They have a lot of pieces they can use in different capacities. That makes you usually one of the more difficult defenses to mitigate.
Doug, second place, 401. You lost to Mike Roy and commitment to whatever he has it, and you have Chocolate Thunder week 10. In this context of where you guys are as a number 2 seed, do you think you guys could perhaps sneak in as a 1, or do you think you guys are going to be firmly 2 because of how things have played out with the loss to commit to excellence, and then Chocolate Thunder, who knows how that's going to play out?
Yeah, we played Mike Roy. We had 5 spares. We didn't have anyone I brought out Grondin, but I mean besides Grondin, like I picked up some guy who plays in like the co-ed. Like we had it was an 11 o'clock I think like Hey-Bear game on like a Monday, and like 5 of my guys will start work at like 5 a.m. It was like we had 3 regular players for that game. So I mean I would love to play them again because and we lost by 4. I threw a red zone pick right at someone, and we had a touchdown called back. So, like, I'm not worried about anybody on our conference. I mean, the chocolate, whatever, they're like half the U guys or whatever, some of the U guys that played on the U. We played them last year. They're, if you can get Joe off his game early, he typically normally gets very lippy and chatty, and he normally makes mistakes, but they're fast and they're big. That's the only thing really worries me.
How do you get him off his game then? Is it trash talking? Is it
honestly, you just if you pick him, if you get a pick on him early, or there's a bad call, that guy just last year I think there was like a bad call on like fourth or third and short, and like he just went off the rails. He fell apart after that, like threw 2 picks or something.
Doug, you're always the greatest for subbing. We always see you posting on the FPF group. So, hey, if there's anyone who needs a team. So this week you actually helped me out in a game against New Wave in 5B. But then right after that, the Tide played Super Saiyans, and effectively a lot of that New Wave group is on that roster. And you guys came away with the win on that one. Super Saiyans, they're 1-4 this season. Like, what did you see about them? Like, what's going wrong?
You know what? Those guys are. I know like Jordan stuff from Touch Outdoors and stuff. They're good. They're, you know, I made that game closer than I need to be. Again, I don't like to complain. There was a missed call with 2 plays left. We were on the 2-yard line. There was like a huge hold on one of our receivers. The ball ended up getting picked. So I mean, that's on me. I should have been smarter there. And then I also threw a pick to Rich that I like threw right at him. So I made that game closer. Those guys are good. They're athletic. They're probably, I'd say, maybe 2 more seasons away. They just need to get a little more. Jordan came out really good, but they just, I don't know, they didn't do anything really on defense besides when I threw the ball and looked them.
Doug, when you look at your roster right now, Chris Pacino is killing it again. 8 TDs, 32 receptions. After Chris, who's the number 2 receiver on this team that people should know about?
You know what? The numbers, I know his numbers look like off the chart, but it's because we just rotate so much that we only have, Chris doesn't normally play D once in a while, but besides him and Brandon Taylor, the rest of the guys all rotate, so no one really gets like a full set of reps on it. Mm-hmm. But everyone does different things. There's games where, I've been playing with Brandon for years. There's games where Brandon has his games. Brent came up big last week, 2 touchdowns. But, Will Hurst is solid in the middle. Curtis is back. We only use him a little bit because, he's got bad knees, so we don't want to hurt him too much. And we need with my offense, it doesn't really matter who's on the field. So we need those guys more on defense. So that's where we like our guys to take our breaks on offense. Because, my offense, it's not really anything special. Dink, dunk, I run around, try to get somebody open.
I have a question for you, Doug. How is it that you get people to bite on pump fakes 10 yards down the field where I can't get them to bite on it in the pocket?
You got to sell it, man. It's the Big Ben pump fake. You got to throw your whole body into it and hope that they jump.
It's insane. Like, I've been on teams where you've done it against us. And I'm like, guys, he's past the line of scrimmage. Why are you biting? And it's insane how it still works. Even though people know you for that.
I've got people 20, 30 yards downfield. I've gotten people when I was playing receiver. I wasn't even playing quarterback.
That makes no sense.
I think I spared in the co-ed this weekend, I think, because Evan, Eli, and Matt asked me to play. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I caught a 5-yard hook, and I tried to pump it. The guy looked at me like I was an idiot. I was like, wrong day. Should have done this on Sunday.
Doug, I was just looking at what you've done with this team so far this year. One thing that we've seen this team really thrive off is emotion, and it's gone for you at times, but also gone against you. How do you keep this team locked in that they don't take an OC or say a bad OC or UR that could cost you guys at a pivotal moment, given how many guys are very expressive on the football field?
Yeah, we get a little hyper sometimes, but we know we know that we can't do things like that because, I mean, it's not the type of game we want to get into. We don't want to give free yards. We're a very gritty team. We like to keep games close and grind them out. And, you know, most of the time it's our veteran play that kind of like somehow at the end of the game we'll make a play, and we can't be giving up free yards, you know, like especially with me on offense, I like to march the ball, so I try to take as much time off. So giving teams free yards and quick scores is not what we want to do. So we know what we have to do, but I mean, it's the way we play. I mean, Brent's the life and soul of that team. Just, you know, you always hear Brent on the field. Normally you'll always hear me on the field, but we've gotten better over the years.
Yeah, we got a little quote from Brent Calendar. I want you to hear this quote. Here we go.
It's not really a quote. That's it. I don't think we can hear it, to be honest with you. But
I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
Okay, because we're not sure if you hear the soundboard is the issue.
Do you hear the soundboard or not?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I heard it for like a second there, but I think you guys played it a couple weeks ago too, no?
We play it all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Like, I still remember, I think it was, I don't remember, I think it was last year after we beat Joey Taylor in the playoffs, Brett dropped a promo.
Yeah, I interviewed him. I interviewed him, and he dropped a couple of cuss words in there, and it came out well, actually.
He came back. I don't remember if he came back or if he wrote in the group chat the next day. He's like, boys, I just cut the greatest FPF promo.
It wasn't great. It was good. It was not great. It was
I don't know if it's the greatest.
I know, but you know Brent's animated.
Yeah, it is. He is.
Doug, you have 2 championships to your name. One back in winter 2011 with the Dark Horses, which were proverbial dark horses because you went through like the top 3 seeds to get to the finals and everything. And then in spring 2014 with the Coconut Oil, so being able to beat the Brotherhood, but never as a quarterback. And I know you've been playing for years and trying to get those numbers up. So, you know, what's that journey been like?
Well, the TCO was as a quarterback.
Oh, so it's true. You took over. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. TCO was as a quarterback, but I mean, like that. I still want to win one with this core of guys. Like, it's a mix. Like TCO, the team we have now, it's a mix between like TCO and the Shamrocks / like Aces and stuff. So I mean, we're all from. I mean, besides me, they're all from Chateauguay. I've been here for like 8 years now, but so it's like kind of my friends merged with some other friends, and now we're just all friends. So it's like we'd love to get one together. And not to mention, I mean, that's the reason why we don't move up is because we don't want to add people that like aren't really friends with us. Like we all just play because we're friends, you know.
Doug,
I'm pretty sure there'd be some guys that wouldn't even play if we didn't put our team in.
Doug, I know you guys wear Alouettes t-shirts for your uniforms.
Yeah.
So explain me one thing here. Do people get intimidated like, holy cow, these guys are all Alouette players?
No, nobody thinks that. You look at them and it's fairly obvious they're not.
Maybe they're like, oh, these guys like work in the IT department for the Alouettes.
Yeah.
But no,
I can see you guys tracking the porn they watch.
Exactly. It's funny because 2 years in a row, I think for the overnight tournament, we actually had a CFL quarterback. And like he was playing with us, and he's like, "Man, you guys are like really, really slow, but somehow you guys all get open." So yeah, we played a lot of FPF games, man.
Any big plans for you and your girl for Valentine's Day?
I am playing hockey tomorrow.
All right.
So Doug, let me ask this then, because Peeze and I, we do a lot of swipe right, swipe left, Tinder type of events here for all the divisions. Would you swipe right, which means you like, or swipe left, which means you don't like them, on Chocolate Thunder?
It's like it's one of those ones where you stare at your screen for like 10 seconds, and then like you're probably just like, you know what? Why not? So yeah, I'll say swipe right, but like, it wasn't easy.
What about commitment to excellence?
Sorry, what?
Commitment to excel, Mike Roy's team.
No, man. Those guys, like, I know a few of them, they're good. Hensley's the real deal rushing. Haney's good, but I can't wait to hopefully get another crack at those guys. Swipe left.
So it's like an obvious catfish, right?
No, but you know what? It's like they're really athletic. They did nothing special on defense, and it looks like their defense won the game with that one pick. but really it was just me making a bad throw. Like Chris Pacino made a move on the guy on the goal line. He was 4 yards open, and I throw with gloves, and the ball just stuck. Like, you heard me literally scream, like, I'm not going to say it on air, but I was like, like right away. Like, I knew the second it left my hand, I was like, yep, this is getting picked.
Pluck.
I literally put it in the guy's chest, and he was so surprised that I think he almost dropped it. Like, I hit him square in the numbers. It was the best throw of my life.
Very catchable ball. Very catchable ball. The ball got him.
Yeah. So
basically, the Tinder profile has been airbrushed for sure, right? There's no way that's a
Oh,
real
yeah. Like, it was like Snapchat filters all in one. Like, there was way too much going on in there.
Doug, thank you so much for joining us today here on Calling the Audible. Best of luck for your next game, and perhaps we'll see you April 4th or 5th for the road show final with your team, the Tide, in the final.
Yeah, for sure. And also you guys are you guys slept on my boy Chris Pacino for the Hall of Fame. You got to get him.
We don't know. We'll see. Maybe he's was he on the list?
He was not on the short list.
Okay.
He was on the qualifying list. We had almost 500 people that were eligible, but we shortlisted it 250. So.
All right, well, maybe next year.
Just saying, QB of the year, and I think a wide receiver of the year in D2.
All right, who's going to get in first, you or him?
Him. I'm not flashy. I just talk like I am.
Doug, thank you so much, man. Have a great weekend.
No problem, guys. Take care.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, now that Doug's mentioned the Hall of Fame, we should call Simon.
Call him up and
get him to announce the Hall of Fame.
All right, so I'll go through the teams quickly here with you. So we flash through them here. Le Prince Rive Sud.
You want to do 4A first?
Yeah, don't worry. I have it right here. He called Simon Dagenet.
Yeah. Mav and Cyr. Sorry, what's that dude quarterback's name? Julie Cyr. Swipe right. Like him a lot.
Dream Breakers.
I like Dream Breakers a lot.
4B first?
More athletic than people think.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. Extremely improved. I did not see that coming. I like them. I like them a lot. I like a date that's willing to work. 4B. Swipe right.
Outlaws.
Or
Outlaws.
Outlaws. I've always been a fan of. I like Outlaws a lot. Stephen H is my dude.
Look how confused he is. Look how confused he is. He's like, what's going on here? Chaos. Super Saiyans.
What order are you going in?
I don't understand why Super Saiyans aren't doing well, but because I don't understand it, therefore it means it's broken. So I will swipe left because you're broken.
All right, Santara and Mad Bears rounded up together.
I'm not drunk dialing Mad Bears because they're gonna complain that I called them too late. So I'm gonna be a Centaur. You?
I will go Santara because Mad Bears, I've pissed him off.
All right.
Sebty won't be happy with me when he sees me next time. Anyway, does he look like Frank Hogue, by the way, Sebastian Thibault?
No.
I thought it was Frank Hogue. Hey, it's not
no,
Frank Hogue.
Frank Hogue has that wispy goatee.
Yeah, that's true. Infantry.
Swipe right. That defense is nasty.
Veshval.
I'm liking Zach Q. I can't believe there's 3 teams undefeated at halfway point. Give me
wild.
Swipe right. And they don't they play each other? Don't the Veshval and Bandit Brothers play each other?
So Bandit Brothers, swipe left or swipe right?
Swipe right. Corey's my dude. I can't believe he's gotten as good as he has. He's like a mini Hollowak. Like he's a guy who's growing and improving at such a rate that's absolutely phenomenal to watch.
Veshval has the Bandit Brothers in 2 weeks on Feb 22nd. Next week, February 22nd, they'll play Infantry March 7th in Lachine. So
that's awesome.
In the next month here or so. All right, Eskimo Brothers.
I'm gonna squint and convince myself to swipe right.
Like Jameis Winston. Sphinx.
Sphinx. I'm gonna swipe left. I don't see it.
Half stars.
Half a stars again. Too much talent for them not to turn around. Swipe right. Hope for the best.
A squad.
Swipe left. Just defense is terrible.
Touched by Angeletti.
Also terrible defense. Swipe left.
All right, LBB, KGP Raw.
If I had to drunk dial one, it would be LBB.
Really, I think we go KGP Raw on that one. That's what I would drunk dial on that. All right, 4B. Let's zip through these here because you have Div 1 in the Hall of Fame announcement
and
coming
Div 2.
up.
Don't forget Div 2.
And 35 plus.
And Div 2, yes.
God.
Oh, my God.
I'm never leaving this place. I'm
No.
so tired.
I know. B-Ballers.
I would have been talking for 4 hours.
That's fine.
Yeah, but that's anyway.
I do for play-by-play by myself. It's all good.
Doesn't matter. Nobody likes you. B-ballers, swipe right because they don't like you.
Easy W.
Easy W.
That points against you have to swipe right.
I have to. I'm surprised by that because I've been ragging on their defense and I didn't notice they improved.
Well,
immensely.
also, I think there's a forfeit in there too, so that helps.
Yeah, that's true. It does help. But
Ballers.
I'm gonna swipe right. I love what they do on offense anyway. Ballers, I don't believe in it. False Kings a little bit. I'm gonna swipe left.
Class
Hold
on
on, I will
grass.
tell you. 4B.
Yeah. Class on grass. I do believe in swipe right. I like them a lot, and those jerseys are sexy.
Me Machine.
Mean Machine. I'm going to swipe right because man, 171 points against already. That's a lot.
Team Ethnic.
Team Ethnic. I will swipe right. I'm a big fan of Ben Lawler.
Yes,
Ballers are 3-2 against a 490 roster, which is effectively just below average.
Yeah.
ZTs.
I don't think they're gonna figure out FPF in time, so I'll swipe left. But yo, call me in the future. Call me when you get your shit together.
Show me your TDs.
I'm gonna swipe right because the record's kind of deflated with Mike O'Donnell missing a game. Show me your TD swipe.
Also,
right.
third hardest schedule to date.
Yeah.
Finessers.
Swipe right. I like finessers. I think they'll turn around.
All right. Grouping Dream Chasers, Warhawks.
Dream Chasers are my dudes.
Oh boy, I thought you had Warhawks. All right. Le Gros Coq.
Oh, how do you not swipe right on the Gros Coq?
I know. You definitely wouldn't swipe left. All right. Backwood Boys.
Backwood Boys their defense is nasty. Nicky Farinaccio's too good. Nicky Farinaccio's a Division 1 player. playing in Division
Mongoose.
What?
Mangoose, a bigger part of it.
Mangoose. Yeah, I like the improvements they've made. Swipe right.
False King alert. 800 record against 440 teams. Easiest schedule.
False Kings.
False
Mangoose.
Kings.
All right. Sheriff.
Well, Louis Bichet is a liar, and I don't trust liars.
Take over.
Swipe left. Take over. Swipe right. Team's talented. Vincent Benjamin and willpower is stupid nasty.
Easiest
Phil.
schedule. A little bit of a worry. 4-2.
False Kings. False Kings. Ian. Ian. Wait. Ian Einhever.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's get him on
Did you notice
next.
before it was the Doug? I was like, we play with Ian. Ah, shit.
How do I say this
Get
name?
him off for 2 weeks. Philip.
I know the record doesn't show up, but they're a good team, man. I'm gonna swipe right.
Freshman.
Swipe left.
Villeray Goons.
I don't understand. Like, they were pretty good when we played them, so I'm gonna swipe right, but it's tentative.
OK Boomers.
I'll let you guys rag on me for 20 seconds.
There was a professor at university who compared the OK Boomer expression to the N word. I disagree, but I'm still swiping left.
Yeah, how old was that? How old is that professor?
OK Boomer.
Yeah.
All right. War Pigs and AA. Group it together.
I played against both of them. Both of them are gonna struggle in this division. They can't score. That said, I'm probably the collection of players are a little bit better on AA by like a hair. So I'm gonna drunk call AA.
I figure if you're drunk, the first thing you're gonna say is
Maybe-
or they'll be at the top of your contact list.
or I'm drunk and I've decided it's gonna be the last time. Drunk call AA.
All right, let's go Div 1, Div 2. As we wrap up Div 1, Div 2 here. All right, so the game of the week definitely had some fireworks, and that was STL got skills. STL wins on a stop on a 2-point convert.
Man, I'm happy STL got this win. They needed to win hard.
But it came with baggage, though. And
Okay, what was the baggage?
A lot of OCs, URs, Shintomo boys, Theo Jaya, Ryan Perry. There's no love lost. There's a lot of trash talking going on between these two teams. And a good point came up from Seb Deschamps. We spoke afterwards. I said, dude, it's a great game, but it's disappointing how both teams were. Both were in the wrong. Question is, for Div 1, and it's been an ongoing process here in Div 1, even Div 2, should there be 3 referees?
I think there should be 3 referees in FPF, period. Across the league. The league has gotten to the point where the athleticism, even in the lowest divisions, that's funny. The division, the refs, the game's gotten to the point where even in the lowest divisions, the game moves too fast for 2 referees. There's too many plays in the game. We looked at it. If you remember, Eagle, we looked at completion percentages over time. We looked at how many plays are run over time. We look at yards per game over time. There's more big plays. There's more successful plays. There's more plays run across the league from Division 1 to 6. the job has become impossible for 2 referees to do efficiently.
The big issue we have, there's a cost
Money.
issue obviously
Yeah.
here, right? Because it's not just money the league has to dish out, but effectively the referees need to be paid. And so it comes to approximately, again, I'm ballparking here, $150 to $200 extra per team. So if you're
And we're not a cheap league.
Yeah, if
We're
you're
not-
an 8-man roster right now, you're basically paying $250 for the 10 games plus
Yeah.
playoffs and the whole thing. So now imagine adding
And our
another
salaries too.
another $25-$30 per person on top of that, right? You're paying almost, it's going to be close to $300 for the year. And it starts getting a little bit I think
And
really,
if we're gonna increase salaries for anyone's, so we're gonna increase fees for anyone's salary, it's gonna be mine.
well, mine too, because I gotta earn a dollar less.
Eagle makes a dollar more than me.
No, less.
Is it $1 more? Oh no!
Less.
So
Yeah,
I get
you wanted to earn a dollar
Yeah.
more than me, and I said I want to earn a dollar less than you.
for
So-
plausible deniability. Yeah.
So STL wins. That's 2 in a row for them now. They're
Yeah.
back in the playoff
Happy to
picture,
see it.
and Theo J made a great point, and it's awesome. Not because it's STL, because it's awesome that everyone's still in the playoff race.
Yeah.
If we go to the Div 1 standings right now with what's going on, Eagle,
Div 1 in past seasons from a media perspective sucked.
it was terrible.
It was we literally had nothing to say for weeks at a time because it was the same thing over and over
It's
and
like
over.
we could say, you know what, we could have put see you on Roadshow
Yeah.
weekend, and we'll talk then about the Div 1
Yeah,
season.
or once we got to playoffs, it got interesting. But like the lull between like weeks 4 and 10 were awful. And now, other than Aptest 1, 2, 3 and Aptest ABC, everyone's still in it. But like the thing is, like think of where we were like 2 weeks ago. Flying on a sack. Now the bottom team in the division. Braves claimed the top spot with the win that win over You Can't Sit With Us. We had 2 games decided by a single point this week, and Braves You Can't Sit With Us, and that whole narrative we've been building of like, You Can't Sit With Us get over that hump and beat Braves.
And they haven't yet.
Well, they did win. Joe Mayo wasn't there.
Yeah, but that's it though. With Joe Mayo, he took away Alex Holloway's soul in that football game. And asked Terry Tan what happened. Terry could remember. He's like, you know what? I'm trying to remember, but I don't know what the fuck happened.
It seems like one of those games. It just teams are constantly scoring, and somehow Braves just ended up getting that extra possession and then walked away with the game. You know what I mean? Like it's, I can imagine it being frustrating at this point for You Can't Sit With Us.
So now, at this point of the year, Flying West Sac, a team that has played very well, are we buying into them perhaps being a team that might not make it at the halfway point of the season?
It's just hard to believe, man. Like they're so good. We were talking early in the season, if you remember, Mo. We talked about how it was Braves, You Can't Sit With Us, Fly One Sack, and like the Finest are sort of falling out of the top tier, and Finest go ahead and beat them head to head. And Fly One Sack's always had issues with like roster consistency and guys not showing up. That seems to be a little bit the issue again here.
I mean, but look at these games. They're, other than the Finest game, every other game, it's, 1 point, 2 point differences. They win by less than a touchdown against STL. I mean,
But that's them. They don't blow out. They don't get blown out. They're in every game, dude.
54-53 against Braves. I know.
And I was there for that game. That
was a crazy
That
game.
is honestly like top 5 FPF memory for me was being at that game, of including games that were finals, whatever. I can't believe that game was wasted in the regular season.
But here's the thing, though, guys. I don't know if you've seen it yet with DA's Finest, but they are running into a serious issue with their roster and playoff eligibility. Right now, they have 6 guys eligible for playoffs if it were to start today. And they have now, I believe, 5 games left.
but
4 games left now.
But Kadeem Pierre just needs to play 2 of those games. Mike Zimi's got to play 3 of those games. I
Manette
think
needs 2 more.
Jared
Mike
Taylor
needs
maybe.
3.
But the thing is, they had such a rotating cast of characters that no one's been consistent enough to be on the roster every week in, week out, right?
You say that, but there's 6 people that are playoff eligible already. I mean,
Yeah, but
that's-
you need more than
They have
6,
a team.
though. But
Okay, but wait. So here's your 6. You're obviously going to have Wyeth, who's going to be there. You're going to have
Franco.
Keyshawn, who's going to be there. You have Kirwak, who's eligible. You have Bordage, who's eligible. You have Jermaine Parrish-Lewis, who's eligible. And you have Frank
Franco.
Hook.
So you tell me that team's going to beat any of the other teams?
But the thing
Well,
is,
that's still a decent enough team to compete.
just
You're
ask my
gonna have
question, will they beat anyone,
Kareem and
though?
Kadeem are going to be eligible eventually, too. It's a decent squad.
yeah,
it's not an amazing
especially
squad.
I think for them to really have a chance, Kadeem Pierre and Mike Zimi need
Have
to
to
be
be
the
eligible.
difference makers. Janai Lewis, by the way, not particularly known. He's played a couple games, so I don't know if he'll be playoff eligible. It'll be tough. We're needing 3 games out of 4, and he's not. I don't think he's a full-time player on the roster, but dude's like a legit like top 3 Canadian CJAP defender.
The Janile is what we call him.
He's good. He's
Very
really
good.
good. I played with him in 4B this year. He's a monster.
Yeah. Let's go Div 2 and games that caught our attention before we do the Hall of Fame, and then we call up.
Don't forget swiping on Div 2.
Should we call Simon?
I'm going to call him in just a bit.
Okay.
He said he wasn't home yet, so.
Oh, he's not home. Where is he at? Is he at the FPF party?
I don't know.
Okay, Div 2.
When has that stopped us that he's not home?
What?
It's never stopped us.
Oh, it's because, I don't know, he said it was noisy and I shouldn't call him, so.
No worries. That's a terrible excuse. All right,
We're
Div
gonna
2.
call him anyway.
Div 2 games that I saw. Oh, boy. Look, I score kept this game, I think, which was Underachievers defeating Lightweight. Actually, I did. No, we go better game. My bad.
Well, I was going to mention that game, actually.
We're going to go Studs Bad Boys. This was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Studs, Sam Caron back in the saddle, had a really good game. Chenard, unfortunately, didn't look good. I mean, he had some bad throws. But Emmanuel Kerfella, the Grey Cup champion, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, torched the Bad Boy defense, played very well on defense himself. Matthew Tuat, 16 receptions in the loss. They didn't get Nick Arsenal open as I thought they should have, given that, again, the Studs have some pretty good players on defense. But overall, I thought this was a really good outing by the Studs, and Caron really had an excellent output for what he did at quarterback on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's come to be expected. Great game. Like it's the kind of game, like, it sucks to lose, but the fact that Pat Chenard kept his team in it despite having thrown the 2 interceptions, that's impressive. Matthew Tuat, man, like, do people not know? Do you not know he's good? Do you not know he's getting the ball? Because Eagle, how many targets did he have in this game?
I score kept this game, so I don't know how many targets he had overall, but he had a lot.
Then why say that?
Moe Khan added 0 to that part of the conversation.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know how many targets.
But he had a lot.
It had to be a lot because he had 16. Because he had 16 catches. I forgot how microphones work for a second.
When is that going to be posted up on the stats page for targets for
Soon.
receiver?
He had 19 targets.
That's
Wow.
impressive, man.
That's almost like an 84%.
Actually, it was a
average.
bug. 18 targets. 16 out of 18.
So
That's intense. That's
like
intense.
a 88% conversion rate.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Not used on extra points, though, so.
In our chat group with myself, Justin Blanchard, and Simon Dagenet, they're talking about the game, lightweight against underachievers. This was a game they thought they could win. Simon Dagenet was really upset about the interception. He felt that was a game changer. Francois Hogue left early in this game. He's also had a game where he didn't show up, where they expect him to be there and wasn't there. It's tough. Roster issues are debilitating, and it's debilitating to a team that doesn't really have a roster that's at the level of the division. This week they brought Juwan Edgehill, Justin Blanchard, Justin Lerner, obviously there from typically there, and Janai Lewis in the fold as well. So it was one of the better versions of the roster. But you lose your rusher, it's not the same thing. It's not the same defense, and that kind of consistencies cost them as well as, again, like, it's a team where Simon Dagenet has to play perfect in order to win, and it's not
been perfect.
He doesn't have the roster to do it, and we know Simon. Simon is better than we've joked about in the past, but at the same time, he's also a guy who's going to make mistakes because he takes chances.
His highlight probably for the season is that he surpassed Marco Macioccia for number 3 in the all-time passing leaders list in FPF
absolutely.
history. So that might be the highlight for lightweight this season.
I told you I don't think lightweight's going to win the game.
Yeah, I know. You're pretty confident about that.
I just like looking at the roster, and again, that's probably the best version of the roster they've had. And it's just if you're not going to have the same group of guys, and like they're going off to face Terror Squad #NR, and they studs the 3 of the 5 last games. They'll have to get either Killer Bees or no cap.
All right, quickly
I don't
here.
think those are easy games for them.
NR beat Taco Tuesday. They have a 2-game lead for first place now. NR.
Tuesday.
Are they now the runaway leaders for the number 1 seed? Do you see them at all faltering to losing that number 1 spot?
To me, they were heading into the season. They were the best team heading into the season. It's not surprising. Hashtag NR has been sort of like, Div 1 adjacent for a while now, right? Like they're a team where they're almost good enough to really to truly be a Div 1 contender, and the fact that they're still in Division 2, that makes it clear.
I do want to spend just half a second on this. Most of the names on these two rosters are either in the Hall of Fame or were eligible for Hall of Fame this year. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we'll get to the Hall of Fame announcement in just a bit, but before that, we want to swipe.
Yeah, swipe right, swipe left. By the way, hashtag NR has given up the second most points in Div 2 this season. All right, hashtag NR, swipe right, swipe left.
Okay, fine. Div 2 first then.
This is the first time ever we start with the lower division, but let's do it. I'm swiping right on hashtag NR. Don't care about the points against because the pace of play plays into that. So because they're scoring so often, the other team's offense gets on the field, and in Div 2 you're going to allow scores. So I'm not as worried about the defense as you are, Mo.
Taco Tuesday.
Swiping right, especially because Sean Avram is in the Dominican.
BYOB.
BYOB. I'm swiping right. I've been a fan. I've been on record saying this is the best thing that's happened to Matt Rene since the previous best thing that happened to him, which I imagine is the discovery of Pop-Tarts.
Bad Boys.
I'm gonna swipe left on Bad Boys, but I feel like I'm gonna regret it. I just not enough on either side of the ball. Not in terms not talent wise, but just what they've done this season, and not quite enough on either side. Not truly a shutdown team, and not an offensive powerhouse. So they're kind of in the middle of the pack. Underachievers, interesting. I think they can turn it around, but I'm gonna swipe left because I don't buy in just yet. I feel like they'll underachieve.
Terror Squad
kind of seems like underachievers. Again, they're going to beat the teams you expect them to beat. They're going to lose the teams that you expect them to lose to.
Studs.
I will swipe right on Studs because the times I've seen them, they look great. I know that hasn't been the case in the entire season, but I think they'll turn around.
No Gap.
I want to swipe right on No Cap, but I think they're a little bit out of their depth in Division 2.
All right, Killer Bees lightweight combined.
I love the dudes on lightweight. I was on lightweight. I'm friends with most of the guys on the team. I cannot swipe right on you guys. I cannot believe. Give me Killer Bees. They're my drunk dial. Where's your drunk dial?
Lightweight.
You're going to drunk dial lightweight over Killer Bees?
Yeah, of course. All right, Braves.
They're the best team in FPF total at the moment, are they not?
Yeah, they are.
So you got to swipe right if you want to be with the best. They're basically an Instagram model. So you're hoping it's not a bot. I don't think it's a bot. I'm swiping right.
Yuxu.
I'm always gonna back Alex Hollowak. To me he's the most exciting passer in FPF. They just got to get over that. They got to get. I don't know if it's a mental thing. They got to get over the Braves thing. Swipe right.
DA's finest.
Swiping left. I don't like the roster. And I can't believe I'm saying this about a team that's quarterbacked by Kevin Wyeth. Mo, I think you might be right for the first time ever that this is the worst version of the finest.
Finally come to fruition.
It's finally come to fruition. The age is starting to catch up to them, and the other teams around them have started to recruit in the ways that before it was if you were the best, you went to go play with the finest. Now you see guys like Chris Miard, you see guys like McKernan choosing to play with you can't.
Well, it's like college football, right? Remember, 10 years ago, it was USC, Florida State. Everyone wanted to go there, and now no one's going to those programs. They're going to Clemson's. They're going to Alabama's trying to Georgia a little bit, but they're going to Clemson's and new age programs, right? Yeah. That's the same thing that we see in Div 1. God Skills.
God Skills is impressing me. I didn't think. I thought they were going to be amongst the worst teams in the division. They're in the hunt. They're good. They're competitive week in, week out. I'm going to swipe right.
STL.
Just don't see it. The talent is there. It's just I don't think they're gonna come together by season's end. So I'm gonna swipe left.
Flying Wasak.
I always swipe right on Flying Wasak. They're my favorite team in FPF. They're just a great group of guys, and the talent is there. They'll make the playoffs.
All right. What about App Test 1, 2, 3 and App Test ABC?
My drug dial. Which team am I on, Eagle?
Both of them, or neither. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna go ABC because it was a television network.
Yeah, I'll go ABC as well.
All right. Now let's check in with Simon Dagenet for our Hall of Fame announcements.
Drink some water.
Vous avez joint.
Jesus.
Simon Dagenet.
Every time.
Veuillez laisser votre message après le signal sonore. Après avoir laissé un message, Vous pouvez raccrocher ou appuyer sur le carré pour entendre plus d'options.
We waited
It's just
4
frustrating
hours for
because
you.
you
4
promised-
hours
you
for this.
promised you
and
would do the Hall of
said
Fame
we'd do all
announcements.
the Hall of Famers.
Like,
this is the
and
only
now
reason
I
we
can't
need
come
you.
up
Like,
on who's the Hall of Famer.
oh my God,
Please.
I don't
This is
understand.
terrible,
What is
Simone.
this?
Nico,
What are you
What?
doing Thursday night?
How did you
Valentine's
even make the Hall of
tomorrow.
Fame as a media
This is
member?
terrible,
It's
man.
an embarrassment.
Horse-bleed.
You're an embarrassment.
Unreal, man.
This is why your
I
parents
can't
don't talk to
believe
you
no one
anymore.
knows
This
what's
is why
going
your
on,
whole
man.
family has
This
to
is
talk to
awful,
you.
man.
I only got through 10 of them. Keep going. Keep going.
10 of what?
I only got 10 of the names read out.
Well, the problem is that you didn't say anything.
Jordan
about
The
all
thing
that.
is,
Justin
I
Leonard.
need to
That's
John
Jordan
Eagle.
Leonard.
I-
You're
it's
yours
just-
are the
it's
most
just
good-
Jonathan
really
Lewis,
frustrating.
Jesse
I
You know what?
don't
At the end of the
understand.
day,
Rosenblatt,
if you don't know who the
Jeremy
Hall of Famers
Listen,
are,
Jason
I don't
Prince,
care about you.
Brian
It's
Laurier.
every week.
That's
Every
not
week we
small.
call you at
JD
the
Smith.
same
Here,
time.
studio,
Same
like,
time.
No Hall of
Jamal
Fame
Gordon.
Answer your phone.
I
Keep me
think
with you. You're
Valentine's
supposed to be
tomorrow.
working.
So
We
Sophie,
pay
you
you.
aren't going out
Listen,
tonight.
Sophie
You're
Sophie
going out
doesn't want to be
tomorrow.
with you on
It's
Valentine's
cold
Day.
tomorrow.
There's no point.
Next year, folks,
Chris
tomorrow.
Millard.
Don't
Brandon
ignore
battery's
it.
gonna
NFL's
die in your phone.
over.
Because
No
Because
Tuesday
it's
Night
cold.
Football.
And
Corey
because it's
No
cold.
NBA and
Alex
TNT.
Hall.
I don't know why
All-Star
phone batteries die
Weekend.
with
Where's
cold.
the Hall of
They
Fame
die.
tomorrow?
Craig O'Brien. All right,
Craig O'Brien's
congratulations
the Hall
to
of
the
Fame?
people who are inducted to the Hall of Fame. Simon will let us know who they are once he actually answers.
Yeah, I guess we're not doing the Hall of Fame
No, we're not.
announcement.
No,
It's a shame. I really thought we were going to do it as we kept announcing it and teasing it throughout the show.
All right, 35 plus.
Oh my God, it's another division.
Oh
I'm
my
dying.
God.
We're
I'm
almost
dying.
Can we call Faizan, please?
I tried to get Faizan, but he's not answering right now, so we'll see.
Okay, the
Okay.
island of North Korea. Look, this is the AFC South of the FPF world here. I'm not going to lie. This is the AFC South.
I don't know why you hate them so much.
It's because here's my beef with this, and this might irritate the powers that be. They isolate themselves by doing the Thursday league, which is fine. You don't want to be part of the finals weekend, and you guys want us to give you coverage. For what?
I don't think that it's not that they don't want to. I think that just the schedule works out differently.
No, but they voted on this. They didn't want to be part of the finals
Oh,
weekend.
they did. Oh, they're
Yeah.
jerks.
Like, we want to broadcast your game 35 plus. So why not put your game on the finals so we can actually give you guys the opportunity to showcase the quality of players that you have. So hey, when guys get to that age of 35 plus, they might come join your league.
This guy.
So are
I'm
you
not doing
saying-
it. I'm not doing it because of that. Because
Are
you're
we,
not showcasing.
are we swiping left on the entire division?
Swipe left.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get to
You know when you put your age filters, you're stopping at 35.
And the worst is we can't even truly recap games because we're here when the games are happening.
Anyway,
So like, what do you want us to do?
the point is that we put it like distance like 40
so
kilometers.
stupid. This is so stupid.
Where's Faizan? We need him when we need him.
Jesus, give Faizan a raise,
But
please.
you know what? I hope for future years they consider having their finals the same time as the other FPF finals.
But what was it? Because they're embarrassed? Because they didn't think to be good enough?
No, they just prefer Thursdays, right? Thursdays is their choice of games.
But for one night, one game,
I don't know. That's
one
wrong.
total game.
I don't know, Peeze. I wish they would do it because it'd be easier for us to have it.
It'd be harder for us because it gives us an extra hour of work.
I know.
But it's
but
fine.
We get that out like
Dave
Ray-
Allen, you're
Rayhan
supposed to be
Starwar.
my grandfather. What happened, man? What happened? I feel like we're actually closer in age than I'm letting on.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Faizan's not picking up here. Let's quickly go over what we like overall now.
Sure.
Look, OAS is running away at 5-0, and it looks like no one's going to touch them. Monstars, MTL Spitfire, neck and neck here at 3 wins for Monstars, 2 wins for MTL Spitfire. Look, the reality is, man, if we want to get the playoff, if we have the playoff breakdown of how this works here, Eagle, if you don't mind going to that at the halfway point of the season, because they only play 8 games. Am I correct on that?
That's correct, yes.
Right. So let's look at the.
Rob, I told you to change this. Read the first sentence. In the 35 plus division, all 10 and in
10,
bracket
11.
11. God damn it. One job.
That's for Sean Abram, I believe, being the 11th best
and
of the 10.
4 from tier 1, 3 from tier 2, and 4 from the KTFL. So how did you get to 11?
Well, 4 plus 2 plus 4, 11.
But then why 10?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk of look right now. OES is the best team here. Is there any team at all from across the board that can challenge OES?
I don't think so. As much as I like Old Age Outlaws, I don't think they truly would be able to compete. I feel bad for Grumpy Old X-Men. Grumpy Old X-Men, like the X-Men were at their best. What, at Division 5, Division 14?
Yeah, Nick Abelhauser is one of their top targets.
Like this is like 35 plus. On average is probably Division 3-ish. Just between knowledge and quarterback plays is Division 3-ish. So like they're gonna struggle. And Abelhauser actually hasn't been on X-Men for like years.
5-6 years now, I would imagine. No, more than that now. It's 7 years, 8 years. I would imagine.
It's been I've only heard the name. I've never even seen him play, and I've
Yo,
been
he
working for
was-
FPF for 7 years.
He was a beast.
Yeah, I heard.
He was Gronk.
Yeah, that's the best description.
He was Gronk of his time, and Grondin Swimdown will tell you that he bailed him out numerous times. Yeah. Numerous times.
So that's it. Like, but in the years I've known X-Men, they've been basically either Division 5, and I don't even think Division 4, but like let's say that's their max capacity, and the rest of the division is essentially, like I said, on average about on par with Division 3. They're having a rough go of it, and we see that in standings.
All right, are you willing to put down money that we'll have a monumental upset in the playoffs?
Well, not finals. I think OAS is winning the finals. What about any of the guys from the KTFL? Do we think that they have a chance? Maybe like FPF?
FPF might do it. FPF might give a good run to the teams above them. I don't know if they can go score for score, but if they come up with a stop or two, I think they give them a good run for their money.
I mean, having Robbie Robinson definitely always gives you a chance, right? So he's talented on both sides of the ball. He gives his team a chance to do it. And
Brian Martin,
Lonnie Johnson. I don't know if they let's say have the top end speed to keep up, but to be honest, that's not Robbie Robinson's game anyway. He's just a really smart play caller and a really great decision maker. So I can see that if a game goes score for score and he's just better on converts, maybe that's the kind of game they can win. But it'd just be hard to get past OAS. OAS just on both sides of the ball is just dominant.
Exactly. All right, well, that concludes our 35 plus, the North Korea of islands. I'm not here next week.
You're not here next week.
No, I told you guys. I'm missing.
So, what are we gonna do?
Terrytown will be my place, I think.
Terrytown?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Peeze is gone.
You're gone next week too?
No, he's gone 2 weeks.
But not the same week that you're gone.
No, I'm gone next week. He's here. In 2 weeks, I'm here. He's gone.
Okay, so at least we have some crossover. That's good.
Yeah. So Terrytown will be here with us.
Thank you to our guests. We had Doug McKernan, Aljoundi, and Tyler Grondin come join us for their different angles. Thank you, Peeze, for contributing to all of the swiping, even though that's never been a real experience in your life. You've now done it, so congratulations. And you didn't get any disease or infections, so that's usually a good thing. Mo, I can't say the same about you, but that's okay. Thanks for watching. Week 6 in the books. Welcome to Week 7.